Greetings everyone, hope you're doing well. Hello Gavin Chan, hello Stream Elements, hello Jaffa Craig Sergeant One, hello. And also welcome our YouTube chat. Sauman United Kingdom, hello. Exorcist Lord, hello. Lyric, hello. Leiden 24, hello. Action Fog, hello. We have to invite you, Savman, one day, alright? Action Fog, hello. Mind and Awesomeness, hello. Alright, expect technical difficulties. Expect this to be bootleg because it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. Wait, I have to set this up. Technical difficulties, okay? Bagoosh. Wait a second. Bagoosh. Alright, let me set shit up. Bagoosh. And now composure, okay? Okay. Okay, I have to send them friend request. We are not friends anymore. Neko. Is Neko my friend? No. We have to add him to friends. Oh, yeah, we are friends. Add me friend, happy face. As usual, chat. Sorry for that, but you know, you should expect nothing. Alright. Bagoosh. Oh, yo. Hello everyone, greetings.
Yo.
Turn your cameras on. Technical difficulties, let's go. For a second, Neko, I was believe you are naked. Yes. Hello, greetings everyone. Wait a second. Technical difficulties. Wait a second. Gosh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Neko turned into his
usual self.
Usual stance, yes.
Oh shit.
Oh, I'm getting raided too. Thank you very much.
I couldn't have you guys on my channel. I don't trust you enough.
That's fine.
Too much dooming, you know. I don't want them. I don't want them to get a sniff of the doom.
Now, I forgot what now. Everyone hear everything? Test. Chats.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Neko, we have to like knock each other out. Yeah, expect unexpected. Where are you? Neko. Knock. Knock. We have to combine our chat autism now.
Yeah. Wait, I need to do this first.
Okay. Chat 5 minutes, okay? We good.
Is your stream supposed to be blank?
It's technical. It's temporary, okay? It's temporary because when I press this, we are all right. But when I'm looking on the Twitch like panel, then it's black.
Oh.
I don't want to leak any, more than is necessary.
Trying to fix the...
Our chats are combined now, or the power is maximum?
I don't know if it is.
It
I'm
is?
too stupid to do. My OBS is so bad. Okay, wait. No? Aha, okay.
Alright, I think our power is combined now. Or no?
I mean, it looks scuffed as fuck, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And wait,
Are we
where's the
streaming
knock?
together?
How do I see the knock?
Do you have... I'm
Wait,
knocking.
I'll knock on your door, okay?
I'm knocking.
Jay, are you streaming too?
No, I just raided. I don't. Too risky. Well, not risky.
Too risky!
I don't trust you guys.
Two guys, brand risk. Oh, we know.
No, I'm very family friendly. I barely swear or anything. And,
Oh yes. Oh, sorry.
No.
It is what it is. We are together now. Oh yes, we are together.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you are.
Oh yes. Maximum power achieved.
Wait, now we need to do shared chat? Or did you do that already?
We are still... I joined.
The chats are not combined yet. I don't think.
Not combined yet. Shared chat started, it says.
Let me do
It's like on the bottom right on this thing. Not yet, I don't think.
Nope, not working yet.
You're the host, Mr. Wizard. You can do it.
How you do it?
On the bottom right, there's like a plus sign with chat.
In your dashboard, yes? Or where?
On this knock UI or whatever.
Oh, it didn't pop up for me. Oh, I think it is. Wait.
Aha, wait.
Oh.
You ended it now.
Hey,
Wait,
the
I'll
host
knock
has
on
removed
your...
it. It's like, so knock to me, alright? Knock to me.
Yeah.
Chat, nothing to see here. 5 minutes, we're gonna be ready, okay? Oh.
Yeah, I knocked.
Accept.
A
yes.
wizard is never late.
Yes.
And now, wait.
Join.
What? Oh, here. Okay, now I do shared chat.
Yes.
Wait, am I the host though?
I think yes.
Wait, maybe I have to cancel it again. Start. There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. We did it. First, welcome our guest, the only one on the internet that decided to comfort two doomers. Big shout out to Jay Oddity. Big claps.
I'm not sure I want to get called a culper, but yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Shout out to him. Gish. You streaming on Twitch or in or YouTube? Jay. Yes, you.
I normally stream purely on Twitch, but to be honest, I stream New World, so I would very much recommend nobody watch.
Well, some people like,
Some people have mental illness. It's not really an excuse.
I mean, all of us do. All of us do. If you're
Yeah.
still playing MMOs, listen.
Come on, shout out. Good. I think now everything will work. Hopefully. The scuffed operation will work. Good. Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone having an amazing day. Today, we're gonna talk about MMOs. It's 12. I just wake up after 3 hours because, need to level up. So it is what it is. This is not my hour, but this is other guy's hour, so we're gonna pump now. We have today's special guest, J Oddity. He likes Chrono Odyssey, so we invite him to roast him alive. What happened, Jay? What happened? We just we were so hyped. I was like, yes, this game gonna be 7 out of 10 or 11, 9 out of 10. So the hype was there, and then we start the game, and the game did bagoosh. All right.
That's too big of a question to start with, but what happened? I still think it has decent potential, right?
Oh yeah, the potential is there.
Disagree. And when you say what happened, I think, let's be honest, hype is the drug that fuels the internet. Like, people just want to get hyped about stuff, and I don't necessarily think that some people are saying that there was some kind of malice. Some people are trying to do it for financial gains. Some people are accusing Canon of all kinds of daft stuff, wouldn't they? I think sometimes people just enjoy different things, and there's a bit of hype, and maybe you get a bit caught up in the hype, but I don't see any kind of malice there. If you want to know what happened with the development of the game, I mean, it's probably like a Korean B tier MMO, but I'm still excited for it.
I mean, that's fair.
Neko, what was your reaction when you start the game?
Okay, so I watched most of the reviews because I wasn't neither the Wizard, but none of us were invited to the previous NDA thing, to no one's surprise. and so I watched all of the reviews, all of the people talking about it, and there was a general positive vibe about it. Everyone's like, this is. There were a bunch of I'm gonna call him out. Blue Squadron going in this is the next big MMO. This is the next generation kind of stuff. So I'm always skeptical, obviously, and I watched your review too, Jay, and you actually said, and this I remember this. You said that the combat isn't quite on the level of New World yet. And that, coming from someone who plays a lot of New World, and I played a lot on launch, that was an immediate red flag, because the game looked like a New World copy, and the combat is still too scuffed. So that, I was already kind of expecting it to be a little bit of a mess. Yeah.
Well, the one thing I'd say, for me personally, I think I got a little bit sidetracked, because I in my video that you watched, that you're talking about there, it's about 25 minutes long, and I think about 10 plus minutes of that video, I talk about how hard the game is. and I'm like, I think this is going to be a massive issue. This is going to be a big issue. People are going to
You even made a separate video about that too.
Yeah, I did. I'm like this. I literally thought it was going to be the biggest issue, and obviously people were like, "Yeah, but Jay, some of the fundamentals are shit," and I'm like, "Oh, you're actually kind of right about that as well. You're absolutely right. Some of the fundamentals are bad." I kind of baited myself. For example, for some reason, I never even noticed, for example, about the movement. The movement's a big one, right? The movement's pretty scuffed. And did you know, I even in all the tests, I never, at any point did I ever think, I don't like this movement. And then when somebody pointed out that you're sliding all over the place, I'm like, you know what? That is actually pretty shit. That actually is pretty daft. No, I don't. I think the problem here is if you think about the number of opinions that you're taking involved, you're not. There's dozens. It's not hundreds and thousands. By the time everybody sees it, you start getting a real feel of what the actual issues are, and I think that's something that you're going to see again and again. the testers might bring certain things to light or what have you in early on, but when everybody gets on it, then the feedback gets to like a very specific, like, okay, these are the actual main issues. Again, I don't think it was anything to do with like, I obviously some people go a little bit over the top and say it's the next greatest MMO of all time, and you're like, okay, that's probably not true. But then I get a little bit on the up. I think the Doomers also sometimes go a little bit too far. For example, in Waydot's video, he's like says, "Don't buy the game." I'm like, you're not reviewing the game. It's a closed beta. So let's try and
Beta
find
is
some
strong
kind
word
of-
for it, okay?
Okay. I don't disagree with
I
that.
will say this one. Strong word.
I do think saying not to buy at this point is too early. Like you can't review it as if it's the release though, because you ain't
Sure.
paid anything, you've not bought anything, they're not charged. It's literally just a free beta at this point or alpha. So I do think like you can get a little bit too extreme. I think, as I said, I think people run on hype, so people get a little bit carried away, and I think people are just desperate for MMOs in general. Even now, even though MMOs, people say MMOs are dying, MMOs are dead, dead, dead. No, none of them are
Yeah,
successful.
every new one, like I see a lot of people trying out.
Yeah, everybody's still desperate. They're still destitute
People
for a
love
next
a
one.
new one. Yeah.
So I think hope and optimism maybe have blinded people a little bit. I don't agree with you, Wizard. I'm going to call you Wizard because I can never pronounce your actual
Okay,
name.
no problem.
Because you said that some people will be nice to Chrono to get in Archage Chronicles, and I don't think that's really any of the case. Like I can't speak for everybody. I don't know what they are, but I think that probably not going to happen as much as you think. I think people are more probably concerned about views, right? And they're
No, but
doing it
listen,
for
I am
views.
partner with Kakao, and then I'm gonna explode and say, "What is this game? It's shit." Do you think they're gonna invite me to their Archage test if I'm gonna do 2-hour video saying that they're the worst company ever? I have to tone down my expectation. I have to kinda chill a bit
it's a
to
fair
not
point.
burn my opportunities.
I think no. I think you should always be wary of people's motives. I do agree with that. Like you
Yeah.
can never. I don't trust anybody on the internet, kind of thing. I actually agree with that. But I wouldn't necessarily throw aspersions out there at this point. I don't necessarily know. I don't
And
think
there is okay.
anybody's doing that personally.
But kinda you have special privilege on the Discord of Kakao, you have special access to the game, they give you a favor, and you start making videos saying that Chrono is shit. I don't think you will be looked on you favorable in the next Archage operation if you're gonna do it, okay? It is what it is.
I agree with you, apart from the
Yes.
fact that I think, from my experience with the people at Kakao, they have been relatively reasonable and would not necessarily retaliate in any way like that. But I can understand how if you don't, I feel like I can say whatever the hell I like, right? And I don't think it threatens me in any shape or form. But I can see why people would doubt that. I completely get it. I don't think it's quite as bad as say something like Ashes of Creation, where they're like, "Hey, we'll actually give you money if you get people referred to the game." But okay, fair enough.
Ashes of Creation 2030.
That's too early.
No,
Yeah, I think-
go on.
I think a big part was the expectation too that they said in their investor shareholder thing that it's gonna probably release Q4 of this year. And in the interview with Canon, where he asked what they were inspired by, and he didn't mention New World a singular time. I think those two are the biggest problems or the expectations that people had. Oh, it's like Elden Ring. Surely it's like Elden Ring. He said it's like Elden Ring, and then it ends up being literally just New World with aliens.
I do not disagree with this, right? So I have to be a little bit careful here, because let's just say I'll say discreetly, I was not shocked by some of the discoveries involved. You'll have to infer what I mean by that. But yeah, I mean, have you seen that Bongum Bays actually said? Oh, you saw it, right? I saw your little meme on Twitter X. Yeah, obviously it's pretty obviously inspired by New World, and I think I don't know why they didn't just admit that. It would have been probably taken a little bit better if they had have just admitted that. And it was pretty daft not to. And what was the other point? Sorry, I forgot. There was the New World bit and
And the Q4 release.
Yeah, I was saying in all my videos, and I was saying all the time, I was like, it's not coming this year, because MMOs get delayed, and I was like, there's no way this is coming this year. Like, there's just absolutely no way this is coming this year. I don't know if they just got overconfident, or maybe they just wanted to release it like that. They're obviously under like massive stress at the minute because they need to get Chrono out, then have some kind of gap before Archage Chronicles, and let's be honest, they're slightly similar games, both action combat MMOs. And I think Kakao aren't necessarily doing amazingly well financially because they've been losing money because they've not got enough mobile pay to win garbage games out there. So they're just
Ooh,
they're just,
ooh, you know, they're watching. They're watching.
so I think they're just under too much stress, and I think they do want to get it out. Like they really do want to pump, but maybe they just. I think I can't speak for them, but I think they got overconfident. I think I think maybe some of the feedback might have been a little bit positive, and they were just like, "Let's full send this. This is going well. We can get this out." And I think they were wrong. So
Right.
I saw.
Yeah, that will be the main point I had. Like, that was so hype, expected like insane power, and then I log into the game. If it was advertised like indie MMO, then no one should be like upset. Indie MMO, kinda made in a basement. All right, it is what it is. Maybe gonna be good in a year or two. But it was like, whoa, next big thing, whoa, and everyone was like, oh, everyone felt a bit tricked. Everyone felt like false advertising.
Do you think the trailers?
That will be. I think this is the biggest point, that everyone come with huge expectation, and then you like see floating horses, you like slide through walls, and it's like, oh. So it's like kinda like Valheim and Rustin. It's like big infant stage. Okay, it feels like made by 5 people.
Do you think it was that buggy? I know, Nico, you called it a buggy mess, and I was like, I don't think it was a buggy mess. Like it was not. It had bugs, right? But I wouldn't call it a buggy mess.
I mean, I think the funniest one. I mean, maybe it wasn't a bug, but it seemed like one. There was this one quest with the naked man at the waterfall. That was the first quest that I did outside of the town. And I walk in there. It's clunky. The guy is standing on a rock where you can easily swim up the waterfall. Then the cutscene is like a full black screen, and there's a rope, and then he just appears in front of you. And it's like it's so scuffed.
It's not. It is kind of bootleg, but I will not pile on this one. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I think
they're like optimization. They're like glitching through textures, geodata. The hitboxes, the floating objects. That was like the oof. We have to do some work here.
And I think that's not even the most worrying part either. Like I think obviously it has a lot of bugs and there's a lot of optimization problems and like things you would expect from a test, right? But I think it goes a lot further than that with how much inspiration they took from New World and how much of that is even better than New World. So it feels like a lot of the things they took, like the Gathering, for example, which I think is just straight up worse than New World, but kind of still copied from it. So it's I think that worries me the most, that they copy things that they don't quite get why it's good in New World, for example.
Yeah, the Gathering is literally like a one-for-one ripoff.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's hard to innovate on Gathering at this stage. It looks like every game is effectively just doing the New World thing where you walk over, press E, and then it does the animations. I mean, bloody World of Warcraft did that in the past. It's not like anything crazy there, but New World did it and the sound was amazing and everything was great and it felt really smooth. And then you play Chrono Odyssey and you press E and it kind of like wants you to walk to a specific point to cut down a tree. And you're like, what the Jesus
junk
Christ is
you
this?
into place.
So, yes, absolutely. I can fully admit that it's very janky. And just to go back, like I think the trailers kind of like set the scene that this would be a AAA game.
Yes.
But in my head, I'm not expecting a AAA. I think Archage Chronicles might end up being a AAA MMO. I think they've got more of a chance. They've
they
got
are
a
like
proper track
cooking
record.
it for like 6 years already.
They've been cooking it. I mean, to be fair, Chrono Odyssey officially started in 2018, but they only started ramping up in 2020. But I do think like I think Cannon said this as well. They called East. I think he called it a double A game. I kind of feel like double A might be a little bit too ambitious for it. But that's not to say I don't think we can get some kind of level of enjoyment from it. I really enjoyed, for example, some of the Chrono Gate bosses and stuff like that. I understand what you're saying, where like they don't understand some of the game and they're kind of taking bits of different games and bodging them together. But some of the experience is kind of fun, and then some of it is like the gathering. Like for example, the blue trees and the red trees are literally just very ugly textured trees.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the Jesus Christ is this? And I would have said the same if they did the fort. Like if they literally put in a fort and was like, let's do some 50v50, I would have been like, what are you doing and why? Like it doesn't even necessarily even fit the vibe. Whether or not that's something they'll address, I honestly I don't know enough about game creation to know if they'll actually just be like, oh, maybe we should change the trees or whatever, and will that make a big difference? I think more of the issue is the jank that you talk about. So you spoke about like people floating. There's Bongon Bay saying, yeah, we're going to address this floating thing. I don't know how easy that is. Like they talk a good game, but we'll see we'll see if they materialize it or if they don't. And then the janky movement again, like or whether or not you're grappling onto a rock or phasing through it or what have you. Again, they say they'll fix them, but will they?
They just
I
need
don't know.
time. The idea is there. We lack execution and time to do it. And what they gonna do? They don't want to like release all MMOs at once. So maybe it will go against EU Ion. Next, okay, delays though. Let's two things. First, there is Throne and Liberty Andy, and I cannot stop myself from aggro on him because he says something stupid on chat. I have to demolish him, so give me 5 seconds. I'm in Korea in real money, now Lucent. I am free to play. I'm getting 1,000 Lucent every month. It's super easy. Congratulations that you play 10 hours a day to get 1,000 Lucent per month, and top weapon costs 50,000 Lucent. So in 3 years, if you're gonna continue your pace, in 2 or 3 years, you should get the top weapon before maybe, or if hopefully they don't close game by then. All right. Deal possibly delays. Chrono delays.
Yeah, also in the Bongan Bay guy, which is by the way a generational name. Like I don't know how you
Probably some like Chebol. Do they have the Korea like the noble noble?
I'm gonna tell you, I keep calling him a weeb because his like profile picture on like LinkedIn is like,
okay.
and I'm like, and he's like, and then they're all about boob sliders and stuff. I'm like, okay, I get the vibe.
I was scouring his replies, and he's been like really hesitant to even say that the next beta is this year.
Yeah,
and they were like confident in that build, right? So
very confident.
So that's going to be interesting, right?
I think like how you call it, intentions are there to do it. They already cook something. Now when? So they cannot compete with Archage because it will be not financially viable to release 2 MMOs in the same month or same time. So I believe next half or 26, when the Ion 2 will come to EU, in second half 26, then they will say, okay, this is our like game to take it momentum. What do you think about this date?
In the book,
second half 26.
I think Archage Chronicles will just get straight up delayed as well. There's no reason to think, considering Archage Chronicles has been delayed a trillion times as well, that they just won't take this time to just delay it, both of them. Because, like, do you remember? So there was a video at Gamescom in August last year where they did a trailer for Archage Chronicles, and at the end of it, they said release date 2025. And then in the financials in October, Kakao Games were like, oh, no, this is actually now F1 2026. So they delayed it within 1 month of actually announcing a release date. So I would not be surprised if they both just end up getting delayed. And then, I mean, It depends. It depends, right? Like it depends if they think. I think they'll. I think it'll come out before the end of 2026, Chrono.
Yeah.
And if not Chrono, they might put Archage before it. But if Archage is a better game, would you want to do that? It
No,
wouldn't really
I
make any
will
sense
say
to me.
Archage is different kind of breed. Archage gonna be,
Yeah.
they're gonna be different like style. Did you play Archage 1?
No, I'll tell you right now, I would not expect this Archage Chronicles to be anything like Archage 1 because it's an action
was about
combat
to say
game
that.
and it's not PvP focused or anything. I really think I
heard that they want to like preserve the spirit of RH1. So I am in one top of map. I am gathering my crops. I'm putting them on tractor. Then I'm driving 2 hours. After 1 hour of drive, I'm getting ambushed by pirates. Everything is stolen. I'm getting killed, and I'm installing the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't
That's
expect
RH1
that.
experience.
I think from what we've seen in the trailers and what they said, it's gonna be absolutely nothing like Arcade. That's what the expectation is right now. I think they said like it's gonna be PVE focused. It's gonna be like, oh, we wanna. What did it said something funny like, we want our combat to be as good as single player RPG combat, which is console slop in 99% of the cases. So they're not really taking even inspiration from something like BDO or other action combat games like New World or even Dragon Nest or something. It seems like they're like, oh, the Souls-like games are so popular. We need to tap into that. And I guess Chrono also had the same idea. So
I think I watched different trailer. There was like some dev talk, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, we want to bring some stuff from RH and also PvE."
So they did. So they had this like footage where they were like in the office and sort of doing. I wouldn't call it an interview, but it was like I don't know. They were doing like little phrases, and one of the phrases that stuck in my head, they were like, "What even is this? A turn-based combat game?" I was like, "What? Well, I don't understand the context of these messages." So I mean, I don't know. I don't think it can be. I think no matter what happens, anybody who enjoyed the first Arcade is going to be disappointed if they're expecting that in Archage Chronicles because it's just going to be too fundamentally different. I mean, hopefully they. I mean, for you, I know.
Well, it was too crazy. It's not open world PvP MMOs in today's day and age. Unfortunately, it's not happening. Because, casuals don't want to get involved into like involuntary PvP that you're getting ambushed in the middle of the road and getting robbed. Casuals don't want that, and for hardcores it's like, oh, we need even more hardcore, more PvP, more, this is too casual, and company tries to sit on fence and everyone is unhappy and the game dies. Like happened to Chrono, like Tron and Liberty. They tried to, make everyone happy and no one was happy, and how is the game doing? Let me check stream.
It's dying in it. People are pissed off with Tron.
How is the explosion? Tron and Liberty. 12,000 online. Well, we don't looking good here. 18k peak.
Yeah, I mean, jumping all over games here, but I kind of wonder why they did this with Throne of Liberty. It sounds like they're trying to turn Throne of Liberty into Ion 2, and I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't have just focused. Like, why wouldn't you have made the Throne of Liberty the PvP game that people kind of like wanted and stuck with the niche? And then if you've got Ion 2 literally around the corner, which obviously it's got the Realm v.
We're gonna talk about Ion 2, don't worry.
Yeah, sorry, I won't talk about it too much.
I
don't know why Throne's doing that. I don't know why Throne's doing it. For Chrono, I think it will be this. I think it'll be next year. I simply don't think they can afford to do it otherwise. The question is, it's just going to all come down to how scuffed it ends up being.
Yeah.
Okay, because you see more, you know more, okay?
But we don't know yet.
You cannot say anything. You cannot say anything, okay? But
so
is there light in the tunnel or there is no light?
You're too early for that question. Okay.
Okay.
I can't even give you anything because we don't know.
So we don't have. Oh, we don't even know if we see light. Okay.
Nobody knows at this point. Okay. But Canon said that there will be another test at some point, relatively soon, I think. So at some
I
point,
think it's test for
Oh.
the
someone
only
will know.
selected people.
Yeah, but also I just want to be clear by the way, I mentioned it on your YouTube video, but
Yeah.
for the test, there was a test last April, so April 2024, which I was in, but I don't think any other content creator was necessarily in that test. Okay, that wasn't for them. That was, and by the way, if you look at what game it was inspired by, you might understand why I was in
Yeah.
that test.
Yeah.
You can kind of put two and two together there and figure some of this out. And then then obviously it was early June, like June 6th or 7th or something like that, where they did a 2-day actually no, I skipped one. February this year,
Yeah.
there was a test where there was a lot more content creators in that. Canon included, other people as well, Sire Gaming, etc. That's always just an NDA test. And I would say that a lot of the feedback that those content creators gave in their videos, you can be pretty confident that they would have been given in February, and they were still given in June. So that sort of goes with the plan that they were focusing on one build. And then there was that NDA test, which was literally just for content creators. Basically, that was in early June, which was for the videos, and that was NDA free. So just to explain how that worked. As for how they're going to progress with their next testing, I don't know exactly. I don't know who's going to be in that. I don't know what they'll do. The bit of a question is like, if they got so much negativity after they'd already received one round of feedback, will they now trust the testers? I don't know. I'd be a little bit dubious if I was them.
There was like someone linked me a clip today from a German streamer who was also in the test. And he said in their Discord and in the testing thing that there was overwhelmingly positive feedback with some critique here and there. And that's why he thought it happened the way it happened. That's how I understood it anyways.
Okay, I will be honest, okay? If you are a console player, if you live on the tree like an ape, and your peak gaming experience is Astrobot, alright? And then invite you to the test to give the feedback, of course you're gonna be astonished by the PC craft, and you're gonna say, oh, this is so good, you know?
I think
it is what it is.
You think some of the basics are going to get fixed though, right? So if you're in a test, what are you critiquing necessarily as you do the test? Are you going to say, you'll give feedback if it's a bug, right? But do you say, oh, the graphics are shit? Do you think they're going to improve the graphics over time? Do you commentate on the performance when performance is going to come later? Or do you talk about more like general feel of things? So I think sometimes, obviously, keep in mind you're also dealing with a language barrier here. There's Koreans, and they might not understand the nuances of how people are phrasing things. So I think whoever that German guy is, I would also kind of agree with that. I think there was probably like some positivity, but with the understanding that things would also improve and change. So you can kind of, as I said, I think they sort of baited themselves a little bit and maybe got a little bit overconfident.
Yeah, that's
it.
I feel like in reviews.
And let's say for the record, because people say Canon. In his video, Canon said that the game feels kinda indie, okay? So we have the Blast and Canon. There were worse. I watched those videos, and some of them were like, "Oh, this is New World 2.0. It's so good." Canon actually wasn't that big of an offender in this one.
And he got
we have to give them that. We have to give him that, okay?
And Canon got most of the key issues as well. Like he had a section about movement, graphics, everything, all of the major issues that I think people had an issue with. Canon, out of anybody, I'd say covered them probably the best in a sense. So it's kind of weird to me that Canon would get that when you got
because I see like he's the one that received most of the backlash. Yeah, he's the biggest MMO Korean MMO streamer, and he attracts the most light, and he was like, special interview with the dev. So he's getting
he became the face of the game.
Yeah, face of the game. You want to be beacon of light, and lots of moth has come to eat you. It is what it is.
Yeah, and as I said before, like I think his interview was actually really straightforward and honest and fair.
Yeah,
too,
no, come
without
on,
being-
straight. He read from
Yeah.
the, you know.
Yeah, but still, the answers were just the guy was just fucking lying through his teeth. Like half of the things he said.
Yeah, and
Like,
then the guy was like, you know, not really. He was like dodging kind of
Yeah.
slimy answer. Yeah.
I think well, there's two main things that people are like annoyed at is like the pay to win and the M pixel stuff, and maybe the inspired by bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, although I don't think anybody was really that bothered about it at the time. But the M pixel stuff is like the same guy pretty much owns both the companies. Like,
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah,
talking
fucking-
about? I mean, I think it's like if you asked me that question, all they needed to say was something like, we were under M-Pixel. We have now split off. We are two separate legal entities. That's
Yep.
all you need to say. Don't be like, oh no, M-Pixel, you idiot. What do you mean?
We have nothing to do with them. Who are they?
It's just that is a bit daft.
And it's like
And then
just,
the
you know, people don't know them, and it's like giving a negative vibe. Okay, why you are lying about this, you know? Why you are like kind of trying to be shady when you don't need to be shady?
I think that's why I said the inspire part, because I went back and Canon even specifically asked about if they were inspired by other MMORPGs, like if they played other ones and took things from those, and he just didn't even mention a single one. He just completely dodged that and said Elden Ring and Chrono Trigger. And then after this entire Fort fiasco came out, everyone's like, "What the hell is this? This is the." It's very clear.
Cannon probably knew he'd seen the trees, right? He'd seen the game. He probably knew, but he was trying. But he gave them the option of like actually mention it, and then they didn't do it. And you're like, okay, fair enough. I think you probably wouldn't want to mention you're inspired by a direct competitor, so I kind of get why you'd want to not do it. But if you're going to be so on the nose about it, you're going to look a little bit suspect when you don't mention it.
Yeah.
And the other one that people were suspect about was like the pay to win. Like absolutely no pay to win.
Probably language.
And then in an interview, it's like, oh, we're gonna have convenience. You're like, that's bloody pay to win.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you mention the convenience in the interview when you then mentioned it in a written interview? Like, just consistently clear your base. I don't know if that's like PR speak or what have you, but they obviously should have mentioned the plan for convenience. And I do think, like, for a Korean company, if they literally just go with convenience, like that's a seismic change for Korean MMOs. Full stop.
True.
So, like, they could have just said that and been a bit open about it, and they didn't. And they just, it didn't do them any favors. I think it didn't do them any favors.
You play my tunes, all right. All right.
Yeah, and about the reviewing, I think the best thing you can do if you're in a test or if you're like the beta that we had, I think you need to, as dumb as it is, you kind of need to treat it as a full game already. Otherwise, you can't give feedback. Because then there's a slippery slope where you say like, oh, this is very obvious. Oh, this level 1 quest, there's a mob bugged. Oh, this is so obvious. They probably seen this a million times already, and then you don't give the feedback, and then it just spirals, and they don't get any feedback at the end because people assume that everything's gonna be fixed. Like that's also the public consensus when this stuff happens, right? Where like I get so many comments, but it's just a test. Why are you being critical
but you
of
know
this?
the test is June. The game releases in like 3 or 4 months, and the game is catching. You start the game and your computer is on fire. The horses are flying. You're like zooming through animations, and like, oh, this is not looking good.
I will approach testing a little bit differently, but not necessarily the direction that you mentioned there. So normally when you do a test or something like that, you'll have people who are literally just doing bug reports all the time. You'll see there'll be loads of people doing all different kinds of bug reports. And now whenever I come across like a really like a bug that I'm like, okay, I don't know if everybody would have seen this, I'll go file it. For example, I reported the lighting, for example. I knew people would see it, but I was like, I'd not seen this one before. I was like, what the hell is
in your eyes?
Jesus Christ, is this?
Lightning was like, oh. Some dungeon I was like blasted by some rays. Couldn't even see where I'm going. It was bad.
So that's another thing, right? So I reported the flickering lighting bug, But once you get told that some of it's like a bug, you're like, how much of the rest of it regarding lighting is intentional or a bug? Is it deliberately
Or
washed out?
maybe
You're
it's
like,
a future.
yeah, you don't fully comprehend what is intended or what's not intended. So it is a little bit difficult when it's like that. I'll approach testing a little bit differently because I think like I I'm gonna I don't normally approach it from a like an objective point of view. I approach it from a subjective point where I'm like, what did I think and what happened to me?
Mm.
But and so that's why I never even noticed the movement, for example. I just didn't give a shit about it. I never even
Or you were
I never-
focused on
never cared
different
about
things,
it.
and that was
Yeah,
like,
you
oh
still
yeah,
go
I
on different
didn't pay
things. So I think
attention.
you
I was
gotta-
like, oh, how this system works, how you craft, how you this. You wanted like
Yeah. I think
a
you've got to work
YouTube
on the
brain. Oh
basics.
yeah, oh we have to push some videos. Let me do this, and this. Okay, and
Hey,
thumbnail.
look.
Oh yeah, I get it too.
I need them
You
YouTube
didn't
views.
focus
I need
on
those
like
subs.
thinking like developer by content. Yes, we're gonna farm all those Andes that wants MMO. Yes. Oh, we know
I do.
that.
I'll just concentrate a little bit more on the basics and
Yeah.
make sure you cover them because, like, there's definitely things that I kind of like regret. I just never said or never even looked at. But it's just you make mistakes. It is what it is. Overall, I think you've got like two camps of people. You've got people who are like, this game will never get fixed, and then you've got people who are like, this game's definitely getting fixed with this next magical Jesus patch. And I'm just like, mate, you don't need this true,
Jesus
right?
patch.
But neither's true. Like you don't know what they're gonna do. If they don't fix anything, game's dead. Okay. If they fix bits of it, game could be okay, decent. I could enjoy it for several months.
All right.
It just depends what they do. And at this point, you don't know. And that's why I don't want to get lumped in a culprit. And I don't want to be a doomer. I want to be a wait and see.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Well, we should cheer up for MMOs because not many left.
they're all Korean now. You know,
Yeah.
Zenimax not really, which I thought was an MMO's dead. Lord of the Rings,
Yep.
10 years off. Ashes of Creation's never coming out.
Right,
Um,
MMOs for our grandchildren,
We're
maybe.
gonna rework that 3 times again. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
So we got, but
rough.
Korea's saving us though. They've got 4. I'm actually kind of excited about the next 4 Korean games.
Which
we
one are you
have
the most
exciting
excited
year
about?
this year. That for sure.
Archage is the one I'm most excited about. I think
Okay.
biggest potential.
So just
I think
to wrap
Archage
it up,
probably,
Chrono delayed hopefully to like
definitely.
first
Definitely.
half, second half next year. I hope they're gonna get money from Kakao to fix it. Because there's a lot of a lot of things to do. And if you can't just relay them that the game cannot have copyright music as basic. All right, I want to stream this game, I want to promote it, and then I'm getting on my Gmail. I open it up. Oh, copyright.
Yeah, that's
So
also
I
very
actually
strange.
don't know the full. I don't know the full story of that they copyrighted.
They are using the music that is like asset store.
Yeah.
From
I heard they were using
Unity or like your classic music that you buy for $5 from like Tinder. No, not Tinder. Timu.
Yeah.
And those music, the content creators that create this music had it copyright on YouTube. So you just play the game, you have original sounds. Like you don't play your music, you play music from the game, and because it is like from third party, this third party copyrighted on YouTube. I was like first village and I get 20 copyrights, okay? Because the music played multiple times. So probably if I go to the entire game, I will get like 100. If I like play for 10 hours and go to like all the villages, I will have like, 100 emails that I like copyrighted. And the problem with the YouTube streaming is, let's say I stream for 10 hours, and if you get one copyright, all revenue cancelled. From your 10-hour stream. You get super chats, okay? You get super chats and those like things, but you don't get like other revenue because you had some 1 minute of the song in your 10-hour video. It's kinda ass. Yeah, so tell them that it's kind of not cool to have to try to present the game, try to stream it, popularize it, and then you
Yeah,
are
it's pretty
getting
garbage,
punished for it because some la 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 in the background playing the forest, and now my video is like algorithm
So the
bullied because it's not monetized. It's never gonna get recommended to anyone. It's in like a dungeon. You're not getting getting paid is like it is. It's gonna be like €5. Who cares? But the fact that if the video is like copyrighted, demonetized, the algorithm used to put it into dungeon and no one's seen it.
I think they're doing their own music. I think because when we were doing the NDA thing, they sent us some music that was their soundtrack, but
All
they
right,
only sent us 3 songs. So I don't know if it's just unfinished or if that will be in. And also, you can't test that, right? It's not like we could know that before the game came. We just literally
Yes,
didn't know
true.
about it. So.
But don't do it. I will play the music, but I will get my YouTube blasted. I just press it on the copyright, and it send me to YouTube and like medieval castle music, $3, something like that.
I checked it at the town one, like specifically in the town. And there was one video on YouTube with like 1,000 views of that song. The only difference was there was like an extra flute. Like they added like one instrument into it or something. So it was the exact same thing, but with one extra sound.
And yeah.
Yeah.
It is they want to like speed up the development. They put some music in, I understand that, but muting the game to be able to do video about it is kinda, ass.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. All right.
You
want to like final words from Jay about Chrono?
My final word is we'll wait and see, right?
We'll wait and see.
I think for me, I enjoyed the Chrono game. I know the combat wasn't amazing, but I'm an action combat Andy. I hope they polish it. Even if they don't, I will still play it because I still enjoyed parts of it. That doesn't mean it's not going to be a game I'm going to play forever. To be honest, I suspect none of these Korean games are going to be the next I'll stick around forever kind of game.
No.
Yo, we'll come back on to that in a minute.
This year finally, after 10 years. 10 years, we waited 10 years. This year, finally, we will rule the world this year. Nothing can stop us. So many Korean MMOs like this. Bellatores, this is Archage 2, Chrono. What else we have there? Dune was here. Ion 2, so many MMOs. We just cannot fail this year. This is our year.
I forgive me for my sins, but we'll see. I do. Some people didn't like the combat, right? I think with New World, for example, if you don't like the combat of New World, you do not like the game, and the rest of the game's shit at times as well. But I like the combat, and that means I can play the game. I didn't mind the combat in Chrono. I said it wasn't as good as New World. It doesn't give me the same kind of
feedback.
I'm gonna call it smooth. And I know that's so weird because people are going to not think that New World is smooth. But if you play the PvP, sometimes New World Satisfaction, for me, is like crazy good. I love it, okay? The rest of the game's garbage. Chrono, I'm not expecting that. But I really did enjoy some of the Chrono fights, some of the gates and stuff like that. I even enjoyed some of the puzzles. Some of them were a little bit awkward. So I just think... Look, right now I'm going to rate it like a 4 out of 10. But if they can get it to like a 7...
Well, you cannot even rate it. It has to work first, okay?
It vaguely works. The performance is shit. The graphics are good, but it vaguely works. But...
I'm trying to shoot and then I'm getting like lag and I cannot shoot anything because 20 frames per second experience. You can't really judge it. It has to the vision I think has to be realized. They say, okay, we are ready, and then you judge it.
I didn't really experience this lag that you're talking about, right? So, but I'm not denying your experience because they literally in the dev update they've just spoken about how there was like desync and stuff like that. So I think our experiences might have been slightly different there, which is very reasonable. Like if you're experiencing like fundamental gameplay issue, and if they don't fix something like that, then the game will be garbage. It's just going to happen. For me, the melee felt okay. I didn't really play much of the ranger this time, so maybe there was the ranger that was the issue.
For me, I I played New World on launch. I had like 250 hours in it or something. I played like the beta as well. And I was like mildly excited for it because I did think like, oh, the hit feedback is kind of nice. Like hitting things feels nice. Sound design is nice. Gathering feels good. The number go up. Pog is fun, right? But I gave New World because I thought it had literally had nothing else basically to offer. It was on launch anyways. It was a laggy mess in most things. Large scale PvP was insanely bugged out, and the only endgame at that point was chest runs, which were also trash. I gave New World a 3.5 on launch. Now, I will say this. I think Chrono is in a way worse spot at the moment. And that's what makes me worried.
How it can be worse than New World? I was planning to play New World, and then I see people like the guy had English gloves. They have 5 attack power when he have English, like 5 defense when he have English language. He switch language to German, and gloves have 3 def. When I see this, okay,
yeah, it was a
we
mess.
have to like. This is not the place I should be, okay? I will like when you change language and statistics on armor change, I will say this is kind of bad.
It was a mess, but it was at least I always call it an honest attempt at a good MMO. Like they did something fresh. It felt like a different game. It had a little bit different survival elements in there, and it felt combat-wise not quite like an action game like BDO, but again like something fresh in that sense. That's why I'm much more worried now about Chrono, because Chrono doesn't have this fresh spark that New World had. Although New World was a mess, you know?
I just want to say, I think like the way I sort of summarize what you're saying there is like New World was basically incompetence, not maliciousness.
Yes.
And Chrono Odyssey is both at the minute, because they're like both plagiarizing New World and being a little bit incompetent at doing it.
Yes.
And I think that's the issue. Now, I don't necessarily mind as long as they can fix the competence part of it. I'm not really that bothered if you rip off New World, because I think some of the design is okay. Some of it's absolutely awful.
Oh yeah, we have to wait a second question. At least Chrono is free. Is the Chrono gonna be free or is it gonna be buy to play?
No, it's not.
Buy to play officially.
Okay.
Unless they change their mind, but it's meant to be buy to play. I think if it was free to play, you'd get pay to win. They keep saying no pay to win at the minute, which I sort of semi-believe on some level. I think convenience is pay to win, but I think it won't be as like you won't be buying gear. I think unless they now realize that the feedback has been pretty awful, and they just go like, well, now we've got bad feedback, and we'll just change it up. We'll start milking you, which is always possible.
Good. So we closing on Chrono. We are looking for the future. We will see.
I think the next test will make or break it.
The closing statement I will say, if that was like those Chrono Studio and Pixel alone, I will say, we are in trouble. But with Kakao on board that have like taxis, have like comics, they're like conglomerate, you know? They're like Korean Amazon, I will say. They have like multiple type of businesses. So they have money. And if they have money, so they can, lift it with the fund. They have money to like support it if they decided to. So yeah, there is money, and they just have to fix it. If that was like problem, Ashes of Creation don't have any like huge sponsor backing, and well, let's talk about Ashes of Creation maybe, because there's a lot of questions of chat, and let's give like quick take.
Can I get one more thing that just what Nico just said about the closed beta test? I absolutely agree. They should not do the next closed beta test until it's perfect. Like literally, I don't treat it as a beta. Treat it as a marketing beta. Your next closed beta test for Chrono, that's as good as you can make it. Don't dick about. You make that perfect. Don't go sending it and telling people it's a test. It's got to be good. Hold it back now until it's good. If you do that, people might turn around. If it's another jank beta, sad times.
Hard to agree. Yep. It's the last chance.
Yeah. Yes. The main one. You actually want to talk about Ashes?
Yeah, people giving Ashes hope. Just quick take. Everyone have like take games about the Ashes.
To be fair,
Jay start.
Here you go, Jay. Take on Ashes, please.
God damn it, Archage Creation. Do you know what? I just don't believe in it anymore. The simple reason is I think the game that they want to make has no chance of being successful. And I don't believe they can make the game that they want to make just simply because there's no evidence of it, considering it's been in development now for like 10 years or whatever the hell it is, nearly that since like 8 actually.
I heard
7,
first time about when I played Black Desert in 2015, 2016. I was
But
like,
the
yeah,
Kickstarter was
well, there is like
270, I
Ashes,
think.
it's coming, and it's gonna be next big thing.
And I don't believe in them because, like, the core example I use is Stephen Sharif in August in 2018 said the game is coming out before 2020.
Yep.
It's
I remember that.
2025. So, like, there's no reason to believe what they say. However, I hope they make the game that they want, and I hope the people are going to enjoy that game. Enjoy the game. I got no ill will against them necessarily. I'm not wishing them to fail. I just don't think you should believe in it wholeheartedly. And I think what they're going to do is start cutting content, which they've already basically said that they are doing. They're already removing one of the node levels and other stuff that Steven has made that he's going to basically cut content to get it out. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a one continent version of that game getting released at some point just simply to get it out.
Yep.
Or they'll fundamentally change the concept of the game. One or the other. They're going to either cut content or change the concept of the game. Probably. Otherwise, I don't see it coming.
Yeah, hard agree again, but I tested it a little bit. Luckily, because Chad sponsored it, I wouldn't have bought it myself. And I at the point that I tested was in the beginning of Alpha 2, and I tested a little bit later too. And let's just say at that point, I think it would have been generous to say it's 10% done, and that was last year.
10%? Oof.
Yeah, that's generous. Like I think it's much less.
It's literally like half a zone.
Yeah, and they no systems in place. Even the level 1 quests are bugged. Like the entire progression system doesn't make sense. The classes, like the class combination thing, isn't in place. Level is only like half of it or something. Like I think 10 is generous, and that's like if you obviously that's not how development works. It's not linear. But if you extrapolate that, the game's gonna release in like 80 years. You know, so like at this point, let's pack it up. You know. Also, shout out to Narc. He was like a massive Ashes of Creation content creator.
True prophet.
Yeah, true legend,
he,
salute. I think he stopped uploading, he stopped doing content.
Yeah, he deleted all of it, and I think it's sad.
Fallen MMO enjoyer, salute.
Yeah.
One more fallen soul on the battlefield for didn't.
Ashes combat was pretty okay. I just want to say, I'm an
You
Ashes
waited.
combat
Best
ending,
part.
but the tab target combat in that game was actually pretty decent. Okay, like there were bits to enjoy, but they ain't finishing it anytime soon.
I said it was like scuffed Guild Wars 2, which is not a bad thing, by the way, because
That's
Guild Wars
alright,
2
yeah.
is pretty good combat.
So
I also said that's probably the best part of it so far.
salute, Narc didn't make it to promised land of MMO. We are still here 10 years later, still waiting. Good. Then now I will give my quick take. So I think I have no like hype, no expectation, because it started like mix of Lineage and Archage. That was the games that Steve loved. That there are class concepts are from those games, systems are taking from those two games, and that was the idea. And then the game the people from World of Warcraft, like Pirate Software, landed in this environment and grabbed the rope and start pulling towards World of Warcraft direction, and the vision kinda blurred. The vision kinda blurred, and I'm not sure if they still know what they want. Like the crowd from different games, it was planned like Western Korea, that was the idea. And now it's like, I don't know what we're planning to do, what's the plan? It got blurred by feedback from non-Korean gamers, I will say. This way, they took the rope. That's first thing. Second thing, he's developing the game where? In San Francisco? So it's like
so.
X2, X3 price to develop the game, because they have like super worker laws. You don't have like free labor from India there. it's way more expensive to develop game in NA, or Wizard is wrong as usual. Oh my god, they're spamming. So this is eat a lot of founding, It's cheaper to game in Korea, less regulation, or in Russia than it's in US. That's it. Do you guys want to add something?
That's what we're doing. I agree.
Yeah. Good.
I think just one thing I want to say is I think there are people who wish ill on games just because they're not interested in it, and that I kind of don't understand. Like, I don't really care about Ashes necessarily, even if they hate the game. But I wish them well. I want them to make the game. I want
Yes,
it
guys,
to be good.
you don't get it. I will tell you. You don't want the retards from World of Warcraft play your game because they were polluted, okay? Let them have their game, let them have their ashes, let them have their game that they like. They are gonna concentrate there and they are gonna do ideas there and your game goes save, alright? If you kill their games, if you're gonna wish ill to their games, they are homeless, they're gonna come to your game and they make it shitty, So let them have the game, clap, yes, cheer them up, so you don't have to see them ever again in your game. That's my point of view.
Well, this is not a topic necessarily, but yeah, there was a very funny news in WoW recently where they introduced a one-button AI rotation thing, basically.
And the latest cinematic.
There's so many people defending it, so I completely agree with you. They should stay there and yes, do their thing.
Oh.
This
All
needs
right.
to add
I will comment on the character selection in WoW, but Jay is kinda, family safe streamer, so I will refer from that. All right, will retain myself from that. Good. Ion 2 impressions.
I don't know much about the test yet, so you need to introduce.
I will put the time framework for it. So
Okay.
NCSoft had selected people on the Korea, and they invited them to play. It was not online. They'll invite them to the office, like 20, 30 people. They sit in the office and they play the game. And some of them make the videos, share the videos. I got in contact with one guy. I got some news, and that's about it.
And what's the news?
What's the news?
Well, it's a little bit hard to interpret. So, well, I've not contacted anybody, but originally all the feedback was coming out. They were all saying oh, it's non-target combat. And I was
I will explain how it works. I was like,
getting excited, and then it sort of sounded like. I'm gonna get corrected.
I have news. Maybe we're gonna do video.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay. Well, it sort of sounded like it was going to be the TL.
If you have any
thing.
question, I will give it to you.
It sort of sounds like it's going to be the TL thing where you can pick between the two. Is what it sounded like. Because they were saying there was like a classic mode and an action combat mode. So I instantly assumed TL because TL has that. And then there was so that's what my focus was like. What is the combat? The monetization, they didn't sound like any of the monetization was in, but that doesn't mean anything because it's a test. Oh, see, I'm going to get corrected in a minute. I'm going to
no worries. I will give the.
And then they were talking. There's all the kinds of feedback like you can fly early on. What people were generally saying is that the graphics sounded good. It is Unreal Engine 5. They were saying the combat was fun, but the UI kind of they a lot of them were saying it has a mobile UI very similar to Throne of Liberty, which I always found was just hilarious. But so I think it sort of makes sense. For me, it sort of sounded like PvE Throne of Liberty, but with like a realm versus realm thing. However, we're getting like translations from Koreans into English, and I maybe not be interpreting them in the right way. So maybe that is what the combat's like. Are you going to tell?
So what's your I will what's your excitement levels for Ion 2? Let's say out of 10.
So I like action combat, right? There's no two ways about it. But like a 7, I'm pretty sure it'll be a competent game. Like I don't think that they'll make a game that functions. Probably going to be pay to win let's just admit it's not, because in one of the financials they said it's going to have something. I think they said at some point it was going to be
Yeah, they're gonna,
pay to win,
but they are,
like Throne of Liberty. So I'm assuming it's going to have the same system with the Lucent and stuff like that. But I think it'll be it'll be like Throne of Liberty if Throne of Liberty was an actual proper MMO, is what I think it'll be.
Ooh,
Neko?
I think just because it's mobile crossplay, it's already maximum a 4 out of 10. So that can already, like, it's already doomed. But it's also NC-soft, so you have that again. So it's like a 2 out of 10. And then you have, like, wiggle room. Like, it could be a 1 out of 10. It could be a 2.5. That's what I'm working with right now. That's my expectation at the moment. I have zero hope for that. I think Chrono has more hope. And, yeah. That's what I think.
All right, Doomers.
I don't think you can call me a doomer.
No. You are not excited, and I am giga excited. I will say. I am oof.
But you're flip flopping. Last time you
What
said
flopping?
it's trash,
Because I
and
get
then
new
you said it's
information. It's like new information
okay,
drops,
okay.
and I'm getting like oh. So I am oh again.
good. Okay, what is it then? How excited are you then?
9.
Nah.
Whoa,
9.
You are
8,
good.
9. 8, 9. We're going to moon, guys. We're going to moon.
Nah.
Wait, no, wait.
How no?
I don't. See, so the
I will tell you that 100%. Ion 2, we're gonna eat Chrono Odyssey and turn it to dust. That's no even question, alright? That's different universe. Different
What's the combat
universe.
like? Is it
Well,
actually
tell us.
like Throne of Liberty?
So I will share some news.
Okay.
So no Lucent market. No,
What? Okay.
no, like
But
Was that wait? But was that just in the test, or is that confirmed? Like when the game comes out?
you can trade between players.
Oh,
Okay.
You can trade items between players. I can trade between, and the items are binned on equip. So you drop something
And equals
and you
9
can
out
trade
of
it.
10.
So they cannot have a market with currency because no one will use it. You just go directly to the friend and trade it.
I mean, if they want to find a way, they'll find a way. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, I thought they find it the way. Dungeons, limited entry, and you can for more entries.
oh, that's like Throne of Liberty a little bit, then, isn't it? Kind
Okay, so it's a 2 out of 10. So I was right.
About combat, it's gonna be action like Blade and Soul. That's why I'm super hyped, because Blade and Soul combat, at least the melee one, is chef kiss. The game is trash, okay? The game, leveling through the game, getting all of the quests done is ass. But the combat in Blade and Soul is amazing. It's like one of the best MMO ever had. And why is this classic and why is this the classic and the action in place? So because when you have a PvP, and this is gonna be PvP game, you're gonna have like this space. You go to the space and you're gonna battle other players for the bosses and for the like fortresses and something. Yes. And with action combat, you have your Corsair and it's like you aim, yes? And when you have a fight, you cannot really target behind a line. So you have line of tanks, line of mages and healers behind, and you cannot really target healers. You cannot really fight with in PvP you cannot really target the single target classes are out of the picture because you body blocking the healers, and with action combat you cannot really aim at them. So that's why they are getting like your classic targeting. So the single target class like assassin could you see the healer, you target him, and you TP and blah. Bagush.
So are you trying to say you can't use tab target in PvE, but you can in PvP?
Yeah, you can switch whatever you want, but
It's tab target then.
Yep.
How
I'm
is
just gonna use the
tab
tab target one all the time.
No,
If you
it's
get-
like did you guys play? It's like you have you are aiming, and when your aim is on the creature, it targets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the action mode, no?
I cannot describe it. My English proficiency is not good enough
Okay,
to
so,
describe
right.
it. It's like Blade
I'm-
and Soul, something like that. You have to test it.
I mean, do you
You
know
have
what
to
ESO?
like eat some, 2 liters of vodka to how you call it?
I need to channel my inner wizard. We need a translator. So have you tried ESO? So in ESO, right? You just need to aim near a character, and it'll kind of lock onto that enemy.
Yeah.
I assume that's the action mode, but the tab target mode literally just sounds like the classic mode just sounds like I move my cursor and I click on them, which is basically
Yeah,
just normal
something
tab
like
target,
that.
isn't it? But basically, that's what I'm saying. But if it offers you both, the people are just going to pick whichever's the most
Yeah,
efficient.
but the action run is way more fun.
Who gives a shit?
That doesn't matter if it's worse. No one's gonna use that shit.
But it's
Guild
fun
Wars
to
2 has
press
that too.
buttons.
Yeah. But that just sounds like Throne Unlimited to me. Like Throne Unlimited.
No,
has the
Throne and
same kind of thing.
Liberty was ass combat.
Yeah,
Throne and
I don't
Liberty
disagree.
combat was
Absolute
ass.
garbage. Yeah, no, true.
And like
I mean, like Ashes of Creation has the same thing. Maybe more like Ashes of Creation has the action combat mode and the classic tab target mode, but it's better than Throne of Liberty's combat. I kind of just assuming something like that.
Yeah, and
We'll
Guild Wars you
see.
also have that, and no
yeah,
one
but
uses
I
the
didn't
action
have
mode.
hands-on. I just listened to the guy.
Okay.
So
By the way, I'm not
my
against tab
main
target.
concern right now is that it have the advertising massive dungeons because people were unable to test all the dungeons during the 2 days beta. There were so many of them that they didn't manage to do like all of them because there were so many. They get to level 20 and they get like boosted to level 45 to check how the game gonna feel in end game. And my main concern right now is it will turn into, I use my tickets on one character to get the dungeon, Alt CT, and let's go again. That's my main concern right now, that it will turn into Lost Ark Chorefest. I hope they're gonna battle
Yeah,
that.
but Lost Ark combat was good.
This combat, everyone says the combat is
don't
also
know.
good. They feels good to
don't
press
know.
buttons.
Like I feel like if you go tab
It's
targeting,
gonna
you're
be
already losing.
action combat tap targeting hybrid.
To me, this is just tab target, but we'll see when it arrives. I think I don't necessarily think the combat like Throne of Liberty had over 300,000 people playing it with tab targets. So I'm not too stressed about tab target versus action. Yeah, I'm an action combat Andy, but I'll play tab target games. It's good enough. I think more people are going to be more worried about the mobile part of it. And
The mobile is like assisting. You won't be able apparently to go to dungeon with mobile. It's just like assisting up to trade, to do your crafting, do your
I
quest.
mean, that's good then.
And that's not gonna be, and you will not be able to like. It's like side gig. So you're going on the bus and you want to trade or you want to do some dailies. It will do it. It have like the horse. You played Black Desert, and when you like track to the place, and it will follow the road. Like auto tracking in Black Desert. There is no auto combat, but there is this auto tracking. So you are on phone. You say go there, and while you are moving from your work to school or something, you can on your phone take your character, go there, and it's gonna. That's the idea. And about the UI kinda look like mobile, but you look like that for the Throne and Liberty 2. They use the same AI for their builds or all their games. It's like some universal one, and then based on feedback, it develops further. So four party gonna be one healer DPS, healer tank to DPS is for the normal dungeon, and an epic dungeon gonna be 8-man party. trading, optimization. They are aiming for 50-60, 40-60, full setting 60 frames per second, full HD. And the pay to win gonna be like, convenience and extra entries to dungeons, apparently.
I guess it depends on the dungeons, how important the loot is. Like,
Probably
it's
very.
kind of- yeah. Like, if you're gonna get 90% of what you need, but then is it going to be pure RNG? Because it sounds like it's basically RNG pay to win as well. Because the more dungeons you do, okay, you gotta
The
get
only
lucky and
thing
get
I
the
am
item.
afraid of is the chore aspect. If it's gonna end up like Lost Ark with, okay, so to maximize my potential against other sweat lords, I have to do 70,000 characters, farm 5 dungeons, and combine all of those resources to one character, This is my main, but
So you say that's a 9 out of 10.
8. Okay, 8. 8. I listen to myself and I say 8. Alright.
Okay.
Hey, but the game is polished. There is a lot of dungeons. It looks good. It runs good. And
So
you have
another
trade
point
with
is-
other players. When we last time have a
Okay.
trade that you could drop the fucking sword when you are a mage, and someone dropped the wand, and we can like, oh, here is sword. Oh, thank you for the wand. Okay, we waited like that's some ancient tech that returned from the grave. When was the
That's
last
true,
time
we've done that for a while.
you could drop something for your friend and give it to him?
Well, most non-Korean MMOs. Right, a quick other question is: do you think the Korean Taiwan release before global will gimp it or help it or?
No, it will help it, but I think the hype is gone on EU already. I'm gonna play Taiwan.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like,
because it's gonna be like, all
I am
the rights discovered, every content already done.
Yep.
Everything
kinda have
meta, sweat meta already established to pixel, and you're going in and you know what to expect, you know what you're gonna farm, you know all the mechanic, all the discovery, all the like freshness of the game will be gone until the version of the EU version, NA EU version, gonna catch up with the Korean one.
Do you think the timeline is right as well? So they said obviously end of this year, and then I think they actually said like some middle of next.
November. It's November.
How do you-
Taiwan,
wait.
November.
Are you leaking this? Is this world
No,
exclusive?
there's officially.
Oh, okay.
Official November, Taiwan and Korea.
See, for me personally, I wanted to avoid New World's expansion. So yeah, okay, maybe that sounds.
I didn't even know. I watched your video earlier. I didn't even know that there's a New World expansion. I thought they just
Oh.
stopped developing it.
Oh, yo, how could you be so offensive? That's absolutely outrageous. It's actually not officially announced, but like I guarantee you there's an expansion this year.
Ah,
Like,
okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
coming.
I may give it a try to New World.
Leaked.
There is nothing else to play
Okay.
at the moment. Is this
And,
worth it?
listen,
Yeah.
after Chrono, you will appreciate New World. Like you will be like, damn.
I
that's
appreciate
actually not so
NCSoft
bad.
games after Chrono. I was like, damn, they are actually music is. I'm not getting copyrighted. Animations looks okay.
And they're swimming
Bro,
now.
this
Oh,
is actually working. I appreciate them more right now. I even messaged the the guys and say, hey, you are actually doing good games.
Okay, I
Good.
think you've been a little harsh, but fair enough.
Any more questions? I may maybe do video about. There is more about this Ion, but it's. It will we get more information because today they have another round. New people gonna come in and they will test the game and share impression with the.
They're doing that again today. Well, so one thing
yeah,
I'd say
like,
about it,
today, but
like,
it's not at internet. It's like they
You
took
gotta go on
people
site.
from the crowd and they go to
Yeah.
their studio.
Well, there's
on-
a couple of things about that. They did that with Throne of Liberty. They had the version of autoplay and offline play, and that was in the version that they had on site, and they never told us until it got with the closed beta. So I'm not going to trust everything from that because once bitten, twice shy with Throne of Liberty there. But what I will say about Throne of Liberty is that it's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
And it's a very polished game. So I kind of trust NCSoft to at least do
Yeah,
that.
well, true. The combat was the weakest point of the game.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
believe the combat was the
Most
weakest point of the
diabolical
game.
tap target combat I think
And
I've
then
played.
they like fence it that they try to, they try to make everyone happy, and no one was happy.
Yeah, the combat is the move. Again, my movement was a big one that one.
Oh
And
my
you
God.
slow
And the
down.
anime, yes.
It just does so many different things that I just
Yeah,
absolutely
because the
fundamentally hate.
game. Okay, let's why it happened. All right, why it happened? Because I had like keep track of what happened. So first, 2010, it start back. We have to like teleport ourselves back to 2010. Some of the developers from 2010 leave the NCSoft and are making Terra Online. And NCSoft sues Bluehole Studio then, and now it's like Crafton, and they are setting off court, like off. They made settlement. Yes, so possibly the Throne and Liberty should be Lineage 3 originally. So that put the game back in the development because it was like some of it was released as Terra. Then in 2014-15, it like back to the roots because Lineage is more like Diablo, like third person. So they are cooking like a Lineage version, and it's like third person from the top, isometric, and Lost Ark comes out, and Lost Ark is super good. Like, okay, fuck it, redo it again. And Throne and Liberty was like tiered, reiteration, tiered transformation of the idea. It was like Terra, okay, they stole it, we have to redo it. Oh, we're doing isometric. Oh no, the Lost Ark so good. We have no game is now ready. Let's redo it again, and then Throne and Liberty come out, and it's like it's like mutated and a bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if the combat was better, Throne and Liberty could have been much bigger.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that. Like the game itself conceptually wasn't that bad. I know a lot of people were like saying it was like very guild focused, and I think in this day and age, you kind of need your single solo plays to be a little bit to feel.
Yeah,
a little
because
bit
it was
better about
like
the game.
it started. It's supposed to be Lineage 3 that is very guild oriented game, and then they are like try to make everyone happy, and no one was happy. That's it. But the optimization of the Throne and Liberty, we can all prize it.
Beautiful.
Optimization, how much
beautiful
people on the
performance.
screen, how a game works.
Very pretty as well. It's a beautiful game. I don't necessarily like the theme because I'd say the theme's relatively bland, but it's a beautiful game and it works very well.
Good. Anyone want to add something? Any questions from chat that you guys want to answer for us?
Don't read chat. They're degens and Kumas.
Mention that monks they will drop from open world mobs. You get their souls and you can use them permanently from then on. I don't want to be specific, Mr. Halo, about any Ion 2 mechanics because it may change anytime. Like the combat, they're not gonna like redo the combat in 6 months. The like optimization and dungeons, they're not gonna redo it in 6 months. But something like drop, what drops, what's the pay to win, what's the like number game, that may change anytime. So I don't want to like say something and then, oh yeah, do you said that the mons drop from the bosses? We could farm the mons now. 0 mons, everything on shop. Good.
Yep.
All right. Next topic we have. Stay with me 2 more. 3 more. 3 more. Okay. We have. What the fuck is Bellatores?
I pronounce it Bellatores, but
Bellatores. It's like
it's Latin.
I didn't even know it exists. It's like what? What is it?
Right. Okay. So
you know the story. Okay. Shh.
Yeah, I vaguely know the story. One, it's a game I've been sort of following for a while. Weirdly, I don't know. I didn't realize this, but one of the owners, like a 40% owner of the company, is an ex-NCSoft guy who worked at Blizzard Korea. Then he worked at NCSoft, and then they founded the studio.
Okay.
And they're pretty much in the same kind of place. Worker Cowards, they're all in the same area of Seoul. And I don't know. I where they're getting all their funding from, I obviously don't know anything like that. But it's been a bit confusing because what they the game that they've been making it a while, right? There's been interviews. I made a video on it like early last year, and it was sort of sounding like a tab target game. And it was going to have this. It's going to be like almost. It was going to be always on PvP, from what I could gather, right? And then you come to now, and one, they've changed it from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. Two, it's now an action combat game. And literally, if you go on their Steam page, they have one tag that says PvP, but when you actually read the Steam page, they're like no mention of PvP at all, even though the game's focused around conflict with these 5 houses. So I'm wondering if they're trying to de-emphasize the PvP a little bit, because maybe they realize a PvP MMO would be straight up dead. So I don't know. I don't know what they're actually trying to do necessarily, but it looks okay. But at the minute, they're a company with no real like track record or anything like that. You know, nobody knows who they are. Basically, they're just funded by an NCSoft guy, and I guess we'll get some answers at the end of this month, because they're doing the little play test. They also said at one point that they were going to do they were focusing on the global release of like NA and EU. And they said, because of that, they said NA and EU have an aversion to pay to win. So we also have an aversion to pay to win. And then they don't mention anything about pay to win. Or I guess they're not going to mention it in their diary, right? They're not going to mention it. So to me, it's just a whole lot of question marks. And if you look at just the gameplay, I'm like, action combat game, PvP with 5 houses, bit of PvE. Maybe. Practically speaking, who the hell knows?
I think I'm more hopeful for this than I am for Chrono now.
Whoa, Neko, they just come like,
Yep.
I didn't even know they exist.
Reason.
I didn't know they exist. They are like pop up from nowhere. No one knows
like
it's
that.
coming, and we have closed beta test in a month.
I like that. I like this
Surprise.
aversion to marketing bullshit. I'm a fan. I think that's a good sign, because that means they may be a little more confident in their game, you know? Now, in the trailer, it looks a little bit like Throne Liberty had a child with Quintfall or some shit. Like, it looks like scuffed, but at the same time
good.
really polished. No, but, I like the theme. I like the medieval warfare PvP stuff. I'm into that. Obviously, PvE is also a part of it, so that's good. I like the skill trees that they've shown. I like the weapon swapping is like whatever.
Who
I mean, I'm not a
invented
fan,
weapon swap, guys? Who did it to
Guild
us?
Wars? Was it somebody?
I don't know.
Guild Wars?
Who decided?
Might have
Let's
been.
have like 2 or 3 weapons, and who likes that?
Yeah, but I think from the trailer, the combat looked a little scuffed. Like, it looked flashy and the animations looked nice, but the actual movement and the actual impact and the actual fluidity looked worrying. So that's the only thing I'm kind of this could be a problem. But so far, I mean, I don't know. I think it could be a 5 out of 10 is what I'm saying, you know?
Alright, people tells me that they don't know what the fuck is this, and they should watch the trailer. We could watch it.
Well, it's so very awkwardly. It's
Blonde
kind
hair.
of like an interview. What's weird is they literally did the exact same basic like thumbnail.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the exact same format. Like, what? I was like having deja vu. I was
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the
I'm
Jesus
like,
Christ
is this like Chrono brother or what?
I was like, this is very on the nose.
Oh,
I was joking because one of the screenshots has somebody picking up some blueberries, and I was like, "That's from New World. It's the exact same." It's literally going to be New World gathering and crafting.
So
right? 'Cause
Koreans
every game
love
is doing
New
that,
World,
yeah.
and they are making. We're gonna have like Korean New Worlds right now every year. So they copy WoW first. We got like WoW copies, and now we're gonna have New World copies. Why they decided that this game is good?
I think maybe they saw the like 60 million sales and was like, well, that game was crap. So if we make a good version of it, we'll get rich. Unfortunately, they seem to just keep making scuff versions of it. But yeah, you never know. Maybe they'll finish it.
I'm typing
it's
the
one
name of the
games
game in YouTube, and it's not even popping up.
There's also like Bellatores is like a name of like MMA or something. There's like a
The
like,
name
like a contest.
kinda.
So you get that as
music. I got music video. Sorry, chat. I can't find it.
I think
It is what
Bellatores
it
like
is.
It's Bellator. Sorry, my bad. I think you're gonna have like it's gonna. I don't think the closed beta test is an NDA test because if it's on Steam, I don't think nobody's gonna
they're
be signing
gonna
an
probably,
NDA.
but it's Korean only
We'll
again.
see it. Yeah, but we'll see it though. Also, you
Oh,
say
yeah.
it's Korean only. You can still try and get in.
Yeah, it's 2 days. I think the sign-ups open. They said.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you will
yeah,
have
something
to
like that-ish.
probably change the but changing region on Steam.
You can buy an account if you want to. You can buy a.
I will
You can buy a
I will
Korean
try to
account.
do some hackery.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too. It's not too difficult. VPN and buy an account. You'll be all right. Oh, the sign-ups are open. Okay, there you go. I'll be doing that later. So we'll see it again. Like it's Ion 2. They've got a track record. They've got a history. It's NC Soft. You might not be excited about the game. It might be a 2 out of 10 or whatever you called it before. But like you know what they're going to produce. Bellatores is more question marks than anything else.
Yes, I don't know why Neko is like, whoa, it's really hope.
No, I'm
Random
not saying it's
company,
oh,
zero track
wait,
record,
wait.
pop up from the
Guys,
woods,
guys.
and woo, MMO.
Guys, I just changed my language preference on Steam, and I can request access.
Oh, huge!
Yes, we beat the
So,
regulations.
that is
Let's
hot.
go.
But
Oh, we're
also,
gonna have game to
what's weird
play.
about it? They did say they're looking for a Western publisher, by the way. And they also originally said in an interview way back when, it's a company called NU, by the way, in case anybody gives a crap, which I don't think any of you do. And they have, I said I actually need to correct myself because they have made games before. They made a game, something called Tail W, which was basically a 2D weeb MMO for mobile. So you know that's huge pedigree they've got
I
going for
am
them.
getting like Vietnam flashbacks. same type of trailer, and pixel, 2D or 3D, MMO on mobile.
Did you see
It's
the
like
trailer?
it's like
Did you see
different,
the
like
trailer
the
that they
universes
had?
crosses, and we got like glitched in Matrix, and we have two same companies but different name.
They showed UI. Okay, if
The
they show
UI.
UI, that means there's a little bit of advancement there.
I actually
No.
like the UI. It reminds me a little bit
Yeah.
like TL. It's got like TLs where they've got a weapon in the middle, but it's blown up. Then it's they've got two weapons, both with 4 weapons, which is very Chrono Odyssey. Then they've got like potions above it where TL's potions are. Then there's like a little mount box as well. It's kind of like, it looks like they just looked at all of the games that are coming out and were like, we'll just make our own. And we'll just steal bits. And I'm down for
Okay,
that.
if it's good, then we're gonna play it.
Yeah.
Like I would just want to reiterate. I don't think this is the MMO savior. Okay, I'm just saying,
You're in too deep now.
I'm
You're
just
getting
saying
Blue Squadron.
this looks
we know
just
you're getting
better than
clipped.
Chrono. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Maybe it could be right.
Well, you never know. Maybe it's
Could be
like
worse.
gonna be, what was this game that maybe we're gonna get Expedition T33 moment in MMO. No one
That would be nice.
expected. It's coming. It's come. Then everyone is like, "Whoa, the game is so good!" And it was made by like mid-size studio, small size, 30 people, and everyone is like prizing the game. All right. So apparently, chat, you can go to Steam, change the language, preferred language to Korean, and you can request access to Bellatore closed beta test right now. And we're gonna someone gonna get in from us, hopefully. We're
Yep.
gonna play it on 300 ping with gigalag, and
From
then
my
we will
exit
know.
sponsorship.
And then we will know what we're dealing with. Maybe we have like Jesus moment.
That's what I've been praying for. Like there's just gonna be an MMO that pops up and is actually good out of nowhere. I was please.
Yes. Good. Anyone want to add something?
Not yet. Apparently you can just request access regardless of language. So you can just try to get in.
Good. Archage 2. I have topic Archage 2. I think we spoke about Archage 2.
Yeah.
But I want
You
to
want
talk
to
a
add
bit more about
something?
it. I just want to get in there. I think, to be clear, like, even though they're both cacao, like Chrono Odyssey and Archage Chronicles are both cacao, I don't think it's fair to necessarily treat them the same as we said before. Like
Oh
Excel
yeah, I
Games have
think
made
the Archage
MMOs
will get
before.
preferential treatment.
Yeah, they're going. If they have to, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if they literally just yeet Chrono Odyssey out of the way. If Archage Chronicles was miraculously ready, which I doubt it is, considering it keeps getting delayed, that will be absolutely well. One, it's Kakao's own game. It's made by Excel Games, which is owned by Kakao. And two, it's probably going to be a better game. They will 100% focus on Archage Chronicles. I suspect it will be a better game, but I mean, obviously it's way too early to tell. But I also think people are going to get very disappointed if you're an Archage Andy. You're going to be so. Why do you think they changed the name? They changed the name because they don't want you to think it's Archage 2. I know you called it Archage 2. They're trying to get that out of your head. This is like Archage Reborn or something. It's a different vibe. It's going to be a different experience. I think out of all the games we spoke about, it's the one that interests me the most. I know you're an Ion 2, Andy, but
yeah, but RH1 was solid game. RH1 in terms
but that was
of
that was like luck though. Like they made a good game in beta and it was really fucking good, and then they kept developing it and it turned into a piece of shit.
yeah,
So
but
I feel like they just
there
got
was
lucky.
like RH felt like AAA MMO. RH felt like, oh, there is idea, there is, I didn't like the combat. I didn't play RH because, oh my god, target combat, That's why I dropped it. I didn't have time. I play, it was like between Terra and RH, that was the peak, I think, in that time frame. I'm like, target combat. So I didn't play it much, but I played on Korean server, and I really like the ships, building the ship, building your house, crops, like the trading. All of it was there was content. It feels alright. It was like the map was big. It didn't like it felt polished. So I have the RH gonna be good. RH gonna be good because they did it before. Now,
I mean,
10
the question
years
is
later,
the same person making it. Like someone said,
oh no, they kick him.
yeah,
They kicked
the
the
guy
boss
who
of
made
the
Lineage
Archage and
is
he
okay.
become crypto gamer, Andy.
oh
Yeah, he ditched. He left.
yeah, then why like there's no world where it's good.
I mean, just
Yeah,
right,
but
okay,
he
just
did
it's not the same
90% and
people.
they just have to finish it.
At least in the same vein, of course, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're an Archage fan, like there's no way it's the same.
Well, I will say I have also hope for RH that it's gonna be decent because the company have track record of putting out competitive, polished game. And then it turned into some disaster, but later. Right?
Yeah, well, they keep saying no pay to win, and did you know? I will say that
no pay
Kakao-
to win
I
is okay. In Korean mind, no pay to win is I cannot spend 5,000 euro to one shot people. Okay, this is not
okay.
available in our game, so the game is okay.
I agree with
Convenience
you.
that you can just like XP 2x. That's not pay to win. Come on.
I do think that Kakao are gonna. I think that I just have a feeling that I could be completely wrong, just from information I can't necessarily share. That I think they're going to try and focus on the Western gamers. I think their plan is we are going to focus on the Western gamers and try and get that audience. And I think like NC Soft are like, well, we're going to just make our normal Korean MMO with, Ion 2 and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it'll pay off because it'll depend on the quality of the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're like nowhere near as pay to win as we've seen before. However, let me be clear, I even if we call them convenience, and even if it is just bag space, I think it's pay to win.
Yes, the game have microtransactions. The game have shop inside. It's pay to win, no question. GG.
Yeah. I just don't think it'll be as bad. Like we're talking, I don't. We're not talking like Diablo Immortal here. We're talking a little bit more like reasonable. Nothing like buying infinite amounts of game. Not spending $5,000 or whatever.
Neko,
I mean,
people
we'll
from your chat spamming. Should I ignore them or we should send them to Jesus?
What are they spamming? They're doing PvP in chat. It's fine.
Yeah, they're doing PvP in chat. Something
They
about
can do PvP.
Elion.
Yeah,
and something about Turno Vasmund Gold from background.
Wait, were you in Elion, Andy? Were you going to play that?
The
I
game died. Wait. It's
okay.
gone.
Dead.
I actually played Allion for about 10 hours, and
Oh.
I thought it was a complete piece
Pretty
of
long.
shit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was also a cacao game. That's why That's why the meme started, because I was a BDO Andy, and then eventually Allion came out, and I was like, okay, I obviously have to test it at least because nothing else is coming out, and that's where the meme started. But I played it for literally 10 hours and never touched it again.
I mean, I think it had the very unfortunate honor in the West of coming out straight after New World, which I'm not saying New World was a miraculous
Oh,
game.
it was like
but
between New World and Lost Ark, and it was completely
yeah,
demolished. It was
I think
squished.
New World was September 28th. I think it came out in October, like late October, early on. And you know, people's hypes were mainly for New World, and then Lost Ark and Elion just got drowned out. Not that it was a good game anyway. I played it probably for less than 10 hours, and I regret my time.
Yep. I think it was scuffed. It was just scuffed BDO to me. It had very similar grinding and systems, but it was just bad combat and it looked like an arcade game or like something cheap.
It's always funny to me. Kira, by the way, he prefers Elion over New World, and it just cracks me up every time I think about it.
Oh,
that is a
apparently
scuffed
combat
game.
in Alien was good.
Nah, I mean, good is a stretch.
Good, and there was like enjoyable farm.
I think New World Combat was better, to be honest.
I have to give it a try. That's I think the only MMO I didn't try. Like, good. How much is New World? $50?
I don't know why they're not lowering it. Is there like they should do like sales or something?
There was a sale in the summer sale. I don't know how much was off it, but yeah. So the problem is, the problem they have right now for PC is because they've released it on console. They're a little bit. They've got like one package, and they can't gimp it too long because it's only been on console now for like it's only been like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. So they can't drastically cut it the way that it should be. But it's literally way too much for PC. It should not be that price.
Especially after the Chrono thing, if they were smart about it, they should have just 50% sale, bang, and they have like 1,000 new players instantly.
Join a new Odyssey in New World.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would
probably
nice.
it will recommend if you played Chrono. It would recommend New World in your like If you like this game, you should try this one in Steam. Like this small window. All right. Do someone wants to add something? Because we are entering the spicy one now.
Oh,
final
I can't remember what the final one is.
Final operation. No, any questions, chat?
Oh, somebody said they increased the price when they brought it to console. They kind of didn't, but they kind of did and they didn't. They merged the game and the expansion together into one product, sold that on console, sold it on PC. Whereas on PC, you used to be able to buy the base game and then the expansion, so you could kind of like dip your foot into it. You can't do that now, so yeah, it's a bit scuffed, unfortunately.
All right. Oh, now I'm gonna get blasted, but it is what it is. Do you know? So we had this petition. We have this petition.
Are we doing this? Do you know what's weird? I think I kind of agree with you, but for different reasons.
Yeah, but we had the petition. We had the it passed. Do you have knowledge what the fuck is happening, or you want like a briefing, quick briefing, or you have already opinion? Did you do research? Did you do the research?
I'll say one thing. It has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Okay.
I have a badge that says I'm banned, perma-banned in Pirate Software's chat. So just by saying that, I just want to add that to the conversation.
Pirate Software is kind of World of Warcraft players, okay? That's first problem we have here. Unfortunately, he got tag along to this operation, and it's internet against him. Do you have any takes, Jay?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to say I agree with pirate software because I'm going to get burned alive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
It's
so fundamentally, I agree with the concept of the. By the way, just to explain, we're not really explaining. We're just sort of talking around it. We're talking about the Stop Killing Games initiative.
true.
And the initiative, the vague initiative is, hey, if you buy a game, let me fucking. Oh, sorry for swearing. Let me play the game. I don't kill it. And you're like, conceptually, that's perfectly fine.
That's perfect. I agree that 100%
I
too.
have no problem with that. I agree. Let's make games playable forever if you can. My only concern is when you start thinking about the nuances of this, it becomes a little bit harder, right? Like it becomes a little bit harder. Like I agree with the idea that single player games should never not be playable.
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of a double negative. I'm simply not knowledgeable enough or smart enough or good enough to know what you could do with like an MMO, how that would have to be designed, how much effort would that be, how much cost would that be. I simply do not know. Okay, so there's it's okay. Your chat's insulting me, which is fine.
Okay.
I don't know if they mean you.
I just don't know, right? I don't know how that's I don't know. I don't know if it's viable. I'm not smart enough. Is it, for example, people say like private servers. I don't know how that works. Do I have to give, what kind of information does a company have to give you to enable the private server? Is that information they wouldn't necessarily want to give because it's intellectual property? I have no idea. So conceptually, I'm all for the initiative. I agree. Let's make it so games, if they can be playable, be playable. And making it so that the games from the start, it's a great idea. Big fan. Do it. The rest of it, I don't know. I don't know how you would practically do it, but you know what? I don't have to. I'm not a game dev. They're not going to ask me. I'm not a lawyer. They're not going to ask me. So I don't want to put like unnecessary burden onto companies in a way that would be unreasonable. But let's be honest, there are companies that have absolutely taken the piss and just ripped people off basically because they've like, well, we're going to make this online even though it doesn't necessarily need to be. So I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. But in theory, for it, in practice, I don't know.
I mean, I think I'm in a similar boat where I think the concept is really good. That obviously consumer rights, more power to the consumer. You'd actually, if you buy something, you actually own it. You don't just rent it. I think that's all absolutely amazing. And well, the utopian thing to do would be for the entire world to introduce something similar to that, at least that if you're shutting down a game, there should be at least an offline mode that there's no servers or whatever, or there should be, as people said, like the code is out there, people can just make private servers with no copyright problems. But I heard Wizards take last time where it could be problematic for developers to then even go to the U in the first place, where they're like, oh, this is too bothersome, this is too cumbersome, we need to do too much to even publish it here. So they just don't. Now, I think that is a valid concern, but I also think it's too much money in EU for them to do that. So I think the problem with this entire initiative is that it's
vague.
Intentionally too vague, yeah?
Yes.
And so I guess we have to wait until they actually propose like their specifics.
Yeah, because it's not a law, right? It's not. Yeah. I agree. It is vague. It's intentional. The vagueness is fine because he's not. These people aren't. We're not lawyers, right? We're not writing the laws. I'm not a game dev. I don't know anything about you guys. We don't know the specifics. I kind of don't care about the specifics too much. I would gladly sign the concept of it. As an initiative goes, great idea. You buy it, you play it. Don't crap on people.
Yeah, what Chad is saying, that it at least starts the conversation about this topic is great. Yeah, so in that sense, I do like it.
Good. Now Wizard Take. Get ready to get deleted now. I'm gonna aggro entire internet. And those two guys, listen, if someone gonna clip it, those guys, they are hopeless victims. I kidnap them, I kidnap them. I just call them Discord, and I'm losing them. They're hostages.
We need a disguise now.
They're hostages.
Two
So,
wizards now. Holy.
let's start. I am also pro this initiative. It's amazing because the software world is already fucked. Like, you know, the blenders, the like professional part of it. It already have it like, you know, you buy the lifetime license, and lifetime is for 3 years.
Yeah.
So TeamView people bought like lifetime license for a TeamViewer, and lifetime license was for version 12, and version 13 come out. Oh, you have for version 12,
Yeah.
and we're gonna discontinue next year. It's live ended, you know. So what if you pay 6,000 euro for the license? You don't care it. So it's very, very bad in a, like professional software angle. Here in games, we have single player games. There should not be a requirement to connect to internet and like have servers. It is not necessary. We all agree. It can be done. Then you have games kinda like Call of Duty and some strategic games. Let's say Call of Duty. What else we could do? Marvel Rivals. You could do it because most part of the like action is happening on your computer, and server is just like for 10 people. It is doable to do it like, you know, to design it in a way to make it possible. But what the guy has proposed, I listened to him, that live service games like MMOs should like you should be able to be fully playable after ending the support.
I don't know.
And then he said, we don't tell them how they do it, but they should release like server files. They should release the server binaries. They should release the like, you know, they should release the part of the code that's gonna make it possible. Okay, and this is kinda concerning. Because now, okay, you have to. I will give you a picture, okay? I will give you a picture so you can see it. Second, I don't want to blast you with some hentai, okay? So let me like hide my shit for a second, okay? Because I'm gonna open my folders, and what if something gonna bagoosh?
This is why I have two PCs. I've got a gaming PC.
But
and a
I'm
gaming
not,
PC.
I'm not a huge Sturmer like you. All right.
You got like, all the porn on one and all.
I'm not so successful. I live in the cave. All right. Bagoosh. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it. So I'll do it like this. Bagoosh. All right. So this is how a modern server structure works. Yes. This is for like the guy made example. So you have to design, because it's all it's all like, you know, entangled. All the services are entangled together. If you remove some of the services from the server, it will game bagoosh. So they have to design the game in a way that if you remove any of those components, it still works. So it will add like maybe 20-30% more development, like shenanigans to the game. I just take it from the ass, you know, but it will add some complexity to developing your MMO. And if you know or you don't know, EU income for gaming is like 20%. And its question is NCSoft gonna like look on the numbers and gonna say, oh, so EU is responsible for 15 or 20% of our income. Is it viable for us to develop an MMO so it match this like EU law, or is just like close EU and release it for other of the world?
I wonder let's imagine that's the case. Let's say NCSoft says, nah, we're not gonna support that. We're just gonna move out of EU. I wonder, wouldn't it just be legal then to just make private servers anyways? Like, couldn't you just take that copyright? They refuse to comply
Yeah, but they
with the
didn't
rules.
release it on EU at all. It's not
Yeah,
officially
but what
not
can they do
supported
then?
ban.
Like, isn't that like...
But the law is not. The law is not applying to them right now because it's not on EU. It's like it's with the loot boxes with the Netherlands. Where is the law for loot boxes? Which EU
Belgium and
countries?
Holland, yeah, Belgium at least.
Belgium, yeah. And
Netherlands,
when you see
yeah.
when you see like Lost Ark, it don't say EU. It counts all the countries that the game is
Yeah,
released,
but
and
you
it
can
skips
you can play Lost
the
Ark, I
Belgium.
think.
Yeah, but it's not officially there in Belgium because loot boxes.
To be honest, I think there's a little bit too many assumptions. No disrespect.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I've not seen. For me, I just well, maybe it's not assumptions because you said you've seen the videos and he said stuff like that.
Yeah, he said
I don't
stuff
know
like that. Yeah.
if it is true that there's an assumption that they like. If it is true, sorry, not assumption. If it is true that they want that for like online games, the next question for me is like, how feasible, how practical is it? Like, some people are saying it's very easy, right? If the game's dead, you just hand over these binaries. Okay,
Yes.
if it is that easy, fine. I mean, that doesn't sound difficult.
It's
right?
not. It's
Cool.
well not that easy. But let's look on this perspective. Do you know the Dungeon Fighter Online, the game? You
Sure.
know it. So it failed in EU, and it was closed. But in China, it's like the one of the biggest thing there. They are like have a lot of money, and now you are releasing server files to EU, and now some guy from China can take them and make you like server in China that competes with your product on Chinese market. That is still supported there. You don't support your product anymore in EU. You release the files, and now you're arming all the bad actors with the files that they can host their server and make you the competition for you on other markets. And I'm just asking, is the overhead and all of the things that they have to do to make it viable financially like justified enough to release the game on EU, or EU market is so small right now that it's not going to be like, yeah, whatever, fuck them.
Yeah, so there's always workarounds, right? Because
Yeah.
let's say you say, well, if your game is live anywhere in any server, then you don't have to hand over these binaries because it puts your competitive at risk. Then what you do is you go and release it in some tiny ass island, and you're like, well, we're still live. We're just not handing you over the files. We're just going to pay $5 a month to be live in. Oh, I can't think of a very small country.
Yeah, I will. Maybe we will return to that. I am
like
planning like 1.5 hour video, and I'm gonna share my experience. I developed some private servers. I am involved in project right now, so I have more or less idea. I'm not like super programmer. I'm basic Andy, but I have some kind of some kind of imagination how shit works together, how it is licensing, how we use the loopholes to do private server. I was there, and just to say, you know, it's gonna be challenging because Lineage 2 is ancient game. And the geodata for Lineage 2, just telling you, the geodata, like, so you fight each other, and when you hide behind the tree, the game knows that you are behind the tree, and arrow will not hit you, yes? So all the information about the hitbox and about positions and your character and terrain, it takes 45 GB RAM on server. So who's gonna run 45 GB? It's only the map. The entire bill is like 70 GB. Who is gonna run 70 GB? It's gonna be like viable for the private person to, oh yeah, let's use 70 GB RAM to post like the server. It's kind of complicated, and just letting you know, guys, when we gonna know, just one question, if we gonna know that it's gonna bagoosh our beloved Korean shitty games, we have to PvP that, and I hope you guys not gonna pussy out.
Time to quit, guys. Perfect. Finally.
Yeah, finally. Are you saying that it's like our last hope?
Freedom, finally. We need to get this through.
Yeah, that's our end.
Games,
Close the career.
I think so. to be clear, I think this conversation is completely reasonable because I think a lot
Yeah,
of us
I'm
are
just
open to
afraid
the
that it's
idea
gonna
we
get
could be-
fucked up, and because no one cares about our MMOs, and their gachas gonna get hit in MMOs the most. Gachas, because they are kind of single player games, they should be alright.
I do feel like you might be jumping the gun a little bit, right? Because this isn't the law's not out. It's
Yeah.
it's an intent to. It's more like please. It's basically just saying to the government,
Yes,
please
do something.
do something in here.
Yeah.
And then it's the what do they do, which is the important
Yeah,
bit.
but we are
If they
small
get to do that
community. If we're not gonna voice our concerns, you're gonna when they wake up one day and everyone gonna cheer and you're gonna play Ion 2 only on Korea, alright? Or it's gonna be in 5 years, so maybe Ion 3.
That's optimistic. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we should like analyze it, voice our concerns, and wait for it to progress and see what happens.
I wonder what I literally, even though we live in the EU, I literally have no. Well, technically, I don't live in the EU, but I wonder what the next step is. Like, if they get accepted, do they have like a body that reviews
Oh, now
it?
they're gonna now have like a negotiation. The guy that they make it, the lobbyist, everyone jumps in now, and we have they're like gonna do public consultation with different kind of experts, and everyone gonna voice their like opinion. Everyone gonna give their take, and they're gonna put it together, mix it, and something gonna come out.
This is a side question. Do you literally need 1 million signatures before they take you seriously?
Oh yes.
It just seems
That's
like seems like a
Well,
very
but
high
it's for
number.
entire EU. You know, we have 100k in UK.
Yeah.
We have it. It passed in UK too. We have 160k in UK,
Yeah, we
and
have that
our
petition in UK,
Parliament in UK will debate about that.
Yeah.
But I know it. You know it. How it's gonna end, so we don't need to talk about it. The EU one is kind of more real, in my opinion.
Yeah, they might do something.
So just letting you guys know that it is there and it may affect us. So please, like, monitor it. And I hope when the time will come, we will have to defend our MMOs from extinction.
I was
If
just gonna say,
the danger gonna be real, I hope, guys, you will like, you know, because I got like extra. I made a video, and it was the most hated video I ever made. People like send me death threats. They are super, super like, you know,
you picked the wrong
angry
time,
on
haven't
me.
you?
They're super angry on me. So, of course, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna double down with 1 hour video. But I'm gonna be like, explain everything in details, you know, be more specific, pull all the documents, and I'm gonna be over on this topic, and I'm just gonna wait for the development. I'm just concerned because we are a very small community. MMOs and Korean MMOs especially, we are like tiny, small hair on the dick. All right, and if we are gonna get, you know, if we're not gonna say anything, we're just gonna get, you know what's gonna happen? I will show you what's gonna happen. Where is it?
Yeah, but how can you compete with the single
this is
player?
gonna
MPs?
happen.
You can't. Yeah,
And you're
but
gone.
The
no one
the
cares.
single
If
player
you're not
MPs
gonna
have
care,
the
no one
entire
gonna
cock.
care.
Like, what are you gonna do?
All right. So if that's it, maybe we're gonna take questions from chat. And time to wrap it up. We got 2 hours. Nice.
Yep.
Wrap it up.
I'm still thinking about the hair on the dick comment. Okay. I need to move on with my life. Somebody ask something. I just want to say,
if you guys want to say something, now it's time to say something. Ask questions. I will be silent.
I just gonna say, I think like when it comes to the pirate software thing, there's a way of talking about it.
He's
You can
too
be on the
aggressive.
side
He's
of
like,
pirates.
he's too too much ego, too much.
The problem is he also doesn't get
too
it.
much,
Like,
too much peacock shit. Okay, too much.
He understands it even less than we
and
do.
people are like, you know, oh, you are so fucking proud, so much ego. We're gonna fuck you. We don't care about, you know, what you say. We want to fuck you, and it's like emotional. And now we're throwing shit at each other.
And that was the best thing that happened.
It's ape fest.
The best thing that happened to that entire movement was that it was him just talking random shit that he didn't know anything
I don't
about.
think he's getting 1 million signatures without him.
Yeah, it is like fighter it now.
It was reverse psychology.
Kind of like the Streisand effect. I think I do think you can like talk about things in a way where I think one thing I don't want to get parasocial, but I think talking in a way where you accept that, hey, I could be wrong at some point. Like pretty
Yeah.
important to your assumption or your presumptions or your view of that could be wrong. And if you
Yeah,
don't
and
accept
people
that
are like more
possibility,
emotion than the truth doesn't matter. Emotions and like how you perceive things, and they go with it. What?
Yeah.
do you think Ion 2 is going to have RMT? Just TLDR and some questions.
Okay. I am
Yes.
RMT.
Probably.
No, well, no, non-official one,
No,
but
I mean, like, yeah,
unofficial
but
one as usual.
that New World's got a gigantic problem with that. New World, like, I think that all the top players in New World have pretty much bought gold because
I
it's too
remember.
strong.
I remember there was, and even on launch, there was like 3 bots that were just around a town and just mined iron. And I remember they were always in the same spot for weeks and nothing. And like I was like, holy shit, we need to get PKing back into this, so we can just slaughter them over and over. So there's no profit for them, you know.
So that's the advantage to having like. So if Chrono, like, imagine if Chrono literally did what it said, where there's no personal trading and no pay to win, you'd be like, okay, you may have a system that, I mean, it might not be the idea, it might not be a true MMO system where you've got like no sort of weird if you can't help your guild mates out and stuff like that. And that's what the whole you taking away some of the social element of it, but at least you're trying to stop RMT and pay to win. I kind of Ion 2 will just, I think, probably not ban anybody. It'll probably be a case of get the wallet out, but then maybe they'll be like, maybe we want to get involved in that. If you're gonna pay
But
us.
I will take unofficial RMT that you may get banned. There was like, people
sure.
on Throne and Liberty, there was crazy RMT, and finally after half year or year, they put people in like, they make their like currency minus 500,000, they finally get them. So if it's not
Just permaban
official,
them. Just perma them.
it's,
Just get them.
well, you were
get
like,
them the fuck
they
out.
were like businessmen, so minus 100,000
That's way
like
too
currency,
kind.
and you
That's way too
couldn't trade,
kind.
you couldn't use market. You had to first spend 7,000 euro to clear your account to be able to interact with the game services. So basically, we're like banned. You couldn't sell
Smart
anything,
at
you couldn't
least,
buy
yeah.
anything because your balance was minus 7,000, and you pay us 700 euro to fix it, or you are not gonna interact with the game. That's how they did it in Throne and Liberty.
It's kind of funny seeing people. I'm the first person who realizes they're in negative, like they're in massive debt in a game. I think people just quit.
Minus 300k or 400k, and 1,000 was 1,000 Lucent was 20 euro or something like that, and people were minus 300,000 from RMT.
It's even weirder in a game like TL because you could literally buy Lucent.
Yeah, but it was
legally,
cheaper
or
on some,
buy it cheaper.
it was way cheaper on some, Do you want to know what they did? Oh, I'll tell you what they did. The server for premium currency was like Word. So I was playing on EU, and I was making character on Brazil, and I was buying Lucent in Brazil, and it counts towards all your accounts. So I bought cheap, like official Brazilian Lucent or Mexican,
Just the worldwide.
because on Steam it was the cheap one. and it would count for all your accounts, all the regions. So it charged my EU account.
I watched a video where somebody basically did that, but what they did is they were making like Steam accounts and then refunding the price.
Oh yeah, they did it in
purchase.
Blade and Soul too now. Oh yeah, they did it.
Was that
yeah.
your video? Maybe it was your video. Yeah, okay. I watched your Blade and
No,
Soul video.
it was for Blade and Soul, but for Tron it was different action.
Okay.
It was different for Tron. They just like the people on Brazil farmed because it was for them. It was like work, so they farm Lucent. You go there, you sell your shit. You put a helmet on the auction house. Brazilian people bought it. You send them euro, and then this Lucent was available, this premium currency on EU or an NA server, on your choose. And people were like, woo, yeah, shenanigans.
Yes, why do you think the player base in TL dipped so hard? Simply because they changed the game from one thing to a completely different thing. I mean, it was always going to dip. By the way, play based like just always you always lose like so much, and they
Yeah,
kind of ran out of content as well. Where they had Talandre like prepped because it was already in Korea, and then they're just like, there's nothing major now. I also think a free update, like, do you like if it's a free to play game like that? I kind of feel like a free update like Talandre doesn't get the hype of a paid expansion.
of course.
And I kind of I don't know how
Oh.
you fix that in a free to play game. Like, how do you're like, hey, look, we're doing something major, pay attention, and people just go, nah.
I think it's also
If
kind
the
of
game
just
was
a
good and it was
gameplay
like
loop.
not fan sitting and try to please everyone, then I will be more hyped. But they try to, suck all the tits, milk all the cows, and cows like whoosh, to other games.
I feel
Cows
like I'm
escape
jumping
the
off topic.
fence and they're in different games now.
The game didn't feel great to play because of the combat. The movement was bad. The gameplay loop was just dailies, and the only fun you had was the fucking guild stuff. Like, you will always just target a very niche audience with this kind of experience.
So speaking about the guild stuff, yeah, I don't know if you can answer this, Wizard, but the realm versus realm stuff in Ion 2, I'm kind of confused. I never played Ion 1.
Okay,
So
so you
there's
have
like
faction.
what? There's like white and black. I
You
think
have
basically.
white, you have Elion with like white wings and black wings, and you just like, fight each other,
Well,
faction
Elion,
fight.
Nico's going to be in on that.
Faction fight in like the core, you like planet Bagusht and half planet is
Yeah, but then so they're going to do something where you play on the same world. Well, okay, like it's the same content, but there's different servers per faction or something.
no
Do you know-
it's
have you heard that?
huge map, but you have your part of the map that is for your
Yeah.
race. You have part map for other race for faction, and in the middle is
Oh.
like the zone when you
Battlefield.
compete.
Yeah.
And
I
you can
thought they
you
would-
can sneak in Ion 2. You could sneak into other faction and kill their NPCs and make their life miserable.
sounds
But I
kinda
think
good.
they're not gonna do it here.
If they do that, 5 out of 10.
He's in.
Yeah.
That you can TP to enemy. You are so high level. You TP to low level city and you kill everything. People cannot do
Yeah.
quest. They are bagushed.
I heard the factions were different servers, but is that
No,
not
I
true?
think this is
that
kinda this is not how it works in Ion 1.
No, but in Iron 2, is it like that? Or do you not know?
I didn't ask you about this. It's just like
okay.
oh yeah,
Did they
this is
mention it
as
on the
Ion
live
1.
stream?
Yes, it's Ion 1.
Oh, okay.
Be huge map, and is the there is like zone where you meet each other and you bagush each other, and normally you don't meet each other. You have like your part level 5 monsters. You have different location for you. Other guys have the level 5 monster different, and there was like portals from time to time that spawn, and you could jump to other map and bagush them. It's like something like Alliance and Horde in WoW.
Do they have the business model for Ion 2?
Free to play with some
Giveaway.
sprinkles.
Okay, I reckon. So I'm going to predict that it's going to be much bigger than Throne of Liberty. Then
Yeah.
I think it's going to be much
Oh, it's
bigger.
gonna
than
be
Throne of Liberty.
it's gonna be everyone is hyped.
Well, if what the wizard said is
not-
true, and it's not an actual like a mobile crossplay, but it's just like a PC game
they
with
are saying
mobile plus.
no one played mobile yet. They only played like PC build with 5070 RTXs and i7 and 5070 RTX. It went full setting 60 frames per second on like this 1440p resolution, and they said that the mobile part gonna be like assist like in
Yeah.
in
Wow,
Final
dude,
Fantasy. Yes.
They also have mini games as well, don't they?
Yeah. In the mini games, you also be able to play on phone.
I could do a mini game. While
That's
I'm having a
fine. Like if all of okay, listen, guys. If the wizard is lying to me, it's his fault. Okay.
That's what they told me.
that's-
All right. Disclaimer.
if
That's
that's
what I
true-
said.
If that's true, then that might be better than a 2 out of 10. Just saying.
I'm telling you, this is maybe the game that we're gonna play hard.
Well, I
This
hope you're
is-
right. I hope you're right.
Yes, this may be it. We're gonna know November 5 months from now. No, more or less 4 months from now. November, probably 2 months from now. We're gonna do like closed beta test. We will see. We will know everything gonna be on the table.
Question then: Are there any Western MMOs you guys are excited for? Because I'll tell you right now, it looks bleak, doesn't it?
Oh,
I mean, which ones
is there
are there?
any?
Like,
Is there any?
They're not coming for any time. We don't.
Riot
Riot
see trailers
Games
for anything.
2050, Ashes
Yeah.
of Creation 2030.
I think. By the way, I will say I know I'm a New World Andy, but I don't think I'm an AGS apologist. I do think Lord of the Rings will be much better than New World because they've learned some lessons at least. For example, the director Scott Lane, we think he's left New World. We think he's gone to Lord of the Rings.
That's hype.
Okay.
No, that's not hype. That's not hype. That's wait.
You mean the
You
opposite?
said he left, and I was like,
You got too excited. You jumped too soon. That's fine.
Are they gonna use like proper engine this time, not some fork from?
Same engine in it. It's the goddamn same engine.
They're gonna use same
no.
engine, the fork from
Yeah,
Cry's
it has off
engine.
engine
Oh my
too.
god!
Yeah, it's the same engine. I do think it'll be better. I wouldn't get. I think they'll learn a lot of lessons, but I don't. I'm not saying it's going to be like 10. I would dial it back.
But why?
I think that'll be all right.
do we know how deep they are in development?
So they announced it it's about 2 years ago, basically. But they recently said, Chris Hartman, the head of AGS Games at AGS, basically said that they were still trying to find the hook for the game. Kind of implies they're still in pre-production. So
Yes.
I wouldn't get too excited about it soon. I will say New World was relatively short. Like that started in about 2015 and released in 2021, and it showed. But they might. They're Amazon. They've got the money if they really want to, and they've opened up a studio in Romania, talking about cheap labor. Although I don't actually know how cheap Romania is in comparison. Probably cheaper than Irvine, California, where they are.
Yeah.
So a lot of the rings could be interesting. I was so excited. So I've been telling everybody in my chat, I was so excited about Bloody Zenimax. I was like, Zenimax MMO, been in development since 2018. These guys have made an MMO before. It's going to be insane. They're just going to drop it randomly. It's been 7 years. It's going to be huge. And then it turns out, one, it's cancelled now. And two, it wasn't even proper. It was a goddamn looter shooter. So I'm like, my heart sank first.
Emotional.
Like,
I will sustain emotional damage from this one.
I'm scared. I'm scared that the same thing will happen to Riot MMO. Because initially Overwatch was supposed to be an MMO.
No, I have no
right?
hope in Riot MMO because it's gonna make for I don't know who is the League of Legends made for now. It's so mild. It's like it's like I have like it should generate some kind of emotion. I look at it, it's like family friendly. Oh yeah. Nah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared that they will just say, oh, every MMO is failing because they're all trash. And we're scared we can't make some that's not trash, so we'll just repurpose it and make it a Valorant 3 or some shit, But we'll see.
Riot Elden Ring.
I think if they Riot do it, obviously it'll be good. It's just I don't think they'll release something bad. It's just whether or not they'll actually end up releasing it. That'll be the main question. They've kiboshed it several times. It's now been in development for about 2 years, plus whatever they would have salvaged from previous projects. So, I mean, we'll see. And then the only other ones that are like, you've got some shooters got like the Cube, and there was just that new shooter which was called
the Cube. There was something about the Cube. Yeah. I was like, when watching those game shows, it's like I'm always promising myself never gonna watch any again, and then I watch it. It's like 5 hours ads with 1 hour content.
Yep.
And actually, I was like getting in slumber, and my eyebrow rise when they show the Cube. So maybe.
There's another one they just announced. The old PlanetSide 2 devs just announced.
Okay, because before I forget, someone said, sorry for interrupting you, but I will forget. Someone say, "Oh, CryEngine is better now than Unreal Engine 5." So there is good that they developing this. What is this gonna be? A Lord of the Ring MMO on its CryEngine, but. There is no enough developers that are experiencing it because it's not many games made on it. The support of the community, there is no support. There is no asset shop. There is no community around it that can fix your shit very easily, you know? That something is wrong, and you can like just call the guy and he's gonna fix it because everyone knows it. It's like kinda obscure engine and not many people know how to code it, how to optimize it. So it's everything gonna be in-house. And you know
Pretty
it's
important.
gonna make more money, and it's gonna cost more money to do. And I'm not sure. You
I have a
know,
dev friend
you
who
now you have an Unreal Engine, and you want to connect to like Amazon server. Oh, this is like, oh yeah, I need this like plugin from Amazon. You just download, press, it's working. Now, if you have like CryEngine, it may not work. You have to develop your own solution. You know what you mean? So I am not sure if it's good to use some ancient tech to make your MMO. Anyway, we'll see.
I have a dev friend, and they said they literally changed engines to Unreal because everybody out of university knew Unreal, but they didn't know anything else. So they were
Yeah.
like, okay, that's why they're doing it. Specifically on New World, it was originally CryEngine that got forked into Lumberyard, that got forked into the Azoth engine, which is now forked into the Azoth engine too. So we'll
Yeah.
see what they said they're going to update it, but yeah, I wouldn't be too
I
optimistic.
mean, at least they're customizing the engine
So
to their
and
needs.
gonna be
So
another
that's
engine.
good.
The Lord of the Ring gonna be on another engine or this fork thing?
No, it's still Azoth engine. They announced it as Azoth 2.
Okay.
They've not no news about any change. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why
because
they're
I
doing
don't know
that.
what they are in their mind is. Okay, we are Amazon Game Studios. We gonna release Giga games in future. So let's develop our own engine. Let's make it like super good, and we will be super. And we're gonna be for our games, and we know how to develop it, and we're gonna have like competitive edge. Our game's gonna be different. But that's I think what they have in their mind. But this is like it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Well, I mean, the thing is, they could also be looking at a financial thing. They may have done an equation that if you use Unreal Engine and you sell so many copies or whatever, you've got to pay them, haven't you? So they might be like, well, we just keep it all for
Oh yeah.
ourselves. So whatever's cheapest to
But
do.
this engine was like Bethesda have its own engine.
Yeah, the new ZeniMax, the ZeniMax shooter was
worked for
apparently going to be its
Doom.
own engine.
But I don't think it worked well for the like Fallouts and what they cook there. Last Cook from Bethesda.
All the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games have been on the same engine, haven't they? And they just keep updating it.
I know the Quake and the Doom and this is on the like engine, but it is good engine, but it was developed for like 20 years for their shooter games. I didn't look into spec. What is the
Talking about Quake. Quake was on its own engine, right? It was literally a Quake engine.
Yeah, but I think Quake and Doom share the engine. It's like ID
I don't know
Software
about
something
Doom.
something.
Oh yeah, okay.
ID Tech. Oh yeah.
Blast from the past. When was the last Quake game?
Quake
Yeah, well,
Champions
I remember that.
2015, 10 years ago.
I played that. Yeah, I played that.
Ancient.
And that was 10 years ago. Holy shit.
I'm old enough to have played like Quake 2.
I've never played any original Quake.
I've played all of them. Right. And what's I have the guy on chat. He is expert. Tell me, Laspernik, I know him. What engine is all of those like Oblivion, Skyrims? What is the latest one? What was the cosmic one, the space one? Starfield. Well, it's all creation engine, yes?
I think they've just been updating it, haven't they?
Creation engine.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
And we have mixed feeling about this one. Good for modding, but
With its age, a little bit maybe.
Everything else kinda bagoosh. All right.
Do you actually think? Well, one last question. Do you actually think Unreal Engine's not suitable for MMOs? But I mean, people say that, and then I suspect NCSoft are going to prove everybody wrong.
Well,
NCSoft
is doing on Unreal Engine MMOs. When was the Unreal Engine 2? All right, I have the story about that. Unreal Engine like 2 or 2.5 was actually decent for MMO. 3 was disastrous for MMO. I remember Terra and Blade and Soul was on the Unreal Engine 3, and it completely like fucked 15 frames per second.
I lost
Then
Arc.
Unreal Engine 4 was actually good because Throne and Liberty was on Unreal Engine 4. What else was there?
The Lost Ark showed.
Lost Ark was
It's
also
Unreal
there?
3.
Oh, it's 3. Oh, but
Yeah,
3
so Lost Ark
Lost Ark
actually
was
showed.
very late in the 3 development.
Yeah.
Like early 3 games were fucked. Any MMO on Unreal Engine 4.
I think it's Unreal Engine 5 people are a little bit worried about. Aren't they? 'Cause,
Unreal Engine 5, we didn't see properly made MMO in Unreal Engine 5 yet.
Chrono Odyssey. What are you talking about?
Oh, yes. And the computer catch fire while streaming.
I mean,
it.
okay, with engines, I think it's almost always the fault of the people who are using it. And the problem I think that people have with Unreal is that you can make semi-working video games while being a complete bozo. And that's why the games turn out to be dog shit and have terrible performance, because the people who are making them don't know how to make it well. So maybe it's just going to be the same as Unreal 3, where it's just going to take like 5-10 years and people will really know what to do in this engine, and then we will get really sick games. No.
EU general issues player cap, it couldn't deal with more than 50 players. No, but it's proven wrong with Throne and Liberty. We had like Siege with 2,000 people. I didn't have 60 frame fluid experience, but I got like 30, 25, 30. I could see what I'm dying to. I didn't get freeze, and I was actually driving the golem. Like I am like entire server focusing me, and it was playable, and I was was able to see what is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teal's like a masterpiece in that regard.
Teal is 4.
But
Yeah,
don't know
Throne
how-
and Liberty is Origin 4.
yeah, it's 4. Yeah, 4. Ion 2 is going to be 5, which will be very interesting to see.
Oh, we're gonna see if NCSoft is the best in optimizing. Out
But
of all
Bellatores
MMOs.
is 5 too, no?
Yep, 5.
Yeah.
So we will see in 2 months or 1 month now.
The
how
4
they're
Korean
gonna
ones
do it.
are all 5.
But I
Archage
see in
Chronicles is
the
5 as
Ion
well.
trailers that some of the actions was oof. Some of the like scenes that they showed were like cinematic experience. 20 frames.
I don't understand why game companies end up releasing trailers sometimes, and there's literally you can see the frames.
Like,
Like, you're like, why have you done this? Guild Wars 3 is going to take forever, by the way. Same with EverQuest 3. If they ever
About Guild Wars
actually
3
ever
and
do it.
all of the NCSoft action, because Guild Wars is NCSoft. They said that we have financial problems. We will cut heads of this fucking jargon of the corpo jargon. We are experiencing some financial instabilities, and we are planning to reduce headcount in our overseas subsidiaries. Overseas subsidiary is Guild Wars 2 and NCSoft West.
Yep.
and good.
So I don't know about this Guild Wars 3 action.
Well, it's only
And
in
Guild
pre-production
Wars
anyway.
2 made less money than Lineage 1.
Lineage 3's in room, isn't it?
Lineage 1 that is play only on Korea, and it's like, pay to win festa.
I mean,
But
I
they
will
still-
say though, Guild Wars 2 was really good. At
Really good?
least, well, parts of it were really good, let's say. So if they can figure that out, that would be I would be hyped. Yeah.
The thing is, they don't even need to make like a massive MMO. They if they just focus with like what they're good at, they could do something pretty good, I think. But
Okay,
we
I
will
don't
see.
know if they would.
John has asked question. All your Engine 5 games need NASA computer to run well. We have promise from Ion developers, 5060, 4060 graphic card, 60 frames per second, full HD. Unreal
And
Engine
is
5.
that good though?
That's their promise. That's
It
their
sounds
goal.
like you need a NASA
They
PSV.
are saying 2070, But if you're gonna see on 2070, I'm like taking it into consideration. Like I'm correcting that they probably said about 2070 Super, and 2070 Super is around 4060. 1080p max setting 60 frames per second. On
mean,
on
That's not that
on
bad.
4060 or 3060 Ti graphic card.
well, we'll see, I guess.
We'll
In
see.
the beginning, it's gonna be a mess anyway.
Max settings, they say max.
Max. Well, unlike Chrono Odyssey, even if you have a NASA PC, you don't
Yeah.
run well anyway.
Yeah,
So,
same.
You are having like 50
A
frames.
lot of modern
experience.
games. I hate this fucking frame gen, DLSS, all this
Oh,
cringe.
Oh
I
no.
prefer
different
pure
now.
raster. I feel like a boomer. I'm like, I just want real
Yeah,
frames.
just raw dog it. Like,
No.
make a good
There is
game.
like no. There is like two. DSLR. The one that lowers your
Resolution.
resolution. The one
That's
that
okay.
lowers your resolution when it's encountering problems. Dynamic resolution change. That's good one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
It looks like shit though.
But
it
you
plays okay.
have no you can move. You don't have 5 frames per second. The one that generates fake frames. This is the devil.
Mm.
This is the one that you have 20 and it do 60 and you press button and your character you press button and delay like in Korean server 300 ping. That's the
Monster
that's
Hunter had that problem.
fake
that's
frames.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an I mean, DLS is pretty impressive. I use it when I'm like, I want to be in higher res, and I still want it to look decent. I think it's all right.
I mean, I only have a 1080p monitor, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. I
Most
literally
popular.
just upgraded.
Okay, Steam survey. Let's check what's the most.
Wait, no, I recommend a 1440 at least.
Yeah,
It's good
1440p right now. It's the standard. You
It's good
you
shit.
should switch to it. Everyone
I
should
recommend
switch
it. I'm not going 4K. I think my PC would
No,
die anyway.
4K not really viable yet.
Nah.
Let me check.
I used to make the argument that because I could only stream in 1080 that it didn't matter, but Twitch is they're letting us do.
Oh,
1440.
the YouTube you can even do 4K on YouTube, but you know, it is what it is. So 54% people on Steam is full HD.
Yeah. Going back to Unreal Engine 5 very briefly, I kind of feel like you need your MMOs to run on potatoes. Like that's why World of Warcraft is always pretty much. And I don't want to. I know you hate World of
And
Warcraft.
RuneScape.
I'm sorry to mention it, but yeah, like the potato mode PCs are like it's pretty important for a lot of people. So, I don't know if Unreal Engine 5 is just
So
not good
if
for
so,
that or what have you.
46. Let me think. 4060 max settings. So something around like half of that. What's gonna be half of the 4060? The cards are so shit now. 2060 Ti, 2060 or 1080 should run this game alright. And Ion, if their promise is like mid settings, if promise is gonna be delivered, of course. Alright, guys, because we are getting kind of sleepy, time to wrap it up. You want to say something? Now it's time. And we hopefully meet each other again in the future. That was kind of... I like it. I hope, Joe, you enjoy it. Jay, you enjoy it, then you're gonna...
I thought you were gonna bully me a little bit more, but I got away
No,
with it, I think.
you were like...
I think I
Listen to me,
capitulated.
I will tell you. So we
Okay, go on.
encourage other ones that we not bully anyone, okay? They're gonna see it and they're gonna think, oh yeah, they are okay guys. And then we're gonna get someone and we're gonna fucking shred him to dust here. Shh, don't
Yeah,
tell
get the
them.
Chrono guy. Get the CEO of Chrono or something.
Get him in. Get him in.
Oh, no, probably
Bongum
he will not
Bay,
survive
fuck it
this one. Anyway, I think we wrap up all the topics you want to talk about. More content to come. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Mr. Joy Oddity, for joining us. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mr. Neko, to joining us too. We
Thank
will
you for having
probably
me.
return to operation when we're gonna know more about Ion, and after we know we're gonna meet each other. With Bellatore or Bellatore, we'll have closed beta. We're gonna
Yes.
play it. Then we're gonna have Ion closed beta or open beta. We're also gonna play it. We're gonna get new news, and then we may meet it together once more, and we're gonna have a talk. Thank you very much
Okay.
for watching,
The dream.
everyone. It's
Thank you for
gonna
having
be
me.
on YouTube and votes. Thank you very much for everyone to participate. And yeah.
Thank you.
Poof.
Thank you.
Peace.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye bye.